on any star's performance on any given night. Don't miss a single highlight or buzzer-beating shot by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today and make your bets. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps. It's KM to AM on WFAN.
Sports Radio 101.9 FM, the Fan, WFAN.
Here, what's up, New York City? We're right back at it on the Fan a little earlier, which is cool. There's a lot to unpack, even though it may not seem like there's a lot to unpack tonight. Your Brooklyn Nets have not won a game, but if you just listen to that game, they make the end of these games somewhat competitive, close. They make a run for it. They've got some guys that can score. I don't care about that. It's not what you guys want to talk about. 888-808-1019. I was in here the night of the 18-inning game. I was in here last night for Game 4, and now I'm watching Game 5 of the World Series, and I think we start there. Send in the YouTube live stream out now, and we'll begin with the Toronto Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers. There's some defeat in my voice. I'm done hating. There's no more hate left in me for the Toronto Blue Jays. They have earned it. They deserve it. The universe never unconnects. Sometimes there's just a higher power, a destiny. Sometimes you get a group of guys together with a chemistry that just leads them to doing what we're watching them do in this series. So let's go back to last night. They dominated last night. And that's coming off the heels of the 18-inning game. Freddie Freeman does it again. And everybody's saying, these are the Dodgers. This is what the Dodgers do in their building. Everybody's pointing to Shohei Ohtani and how great he is, how many times he was on base. And then last night, Shohei Ohtani gets on the mound. And they get the best of him. But they show up ready. They show up ready to play, right? Vladdy last night with a 2-run bomb early, and it's just like, well, these guys are not going away. You would think that a 18-inning game playing 2 games would break their spirit. It did not. And as I'm watching right now, look, this young man, Trey Savage, 104 pitches, 7 innings, 3 hits. Let me pull up the box score because they just made that disappear. He just went legend in the World Series, set records for a rookie, a 22-year-old kid that started the season in A-ball. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Off a Kike Hernandez solo shot. 12 strikeouts. We made a lot about Cam Schlittler and his performance in the wild card. Are you kidding with this kid tonight? I didn't even want to call him Trey Savage. I wasn't respecting the Blue Jays. I wasn't respecting him at first because the kid hadn't even been in Major League Baseball for a month. And they're showing the Rogers Center. That place is packed for this watch party. The Toronto Blue Jays are 6 outs away from sending this back to Toronto with 2 games to win to be the 2025 World Series champions. How could they not finish this off? Now, I know baseball is crazy. I know Yamamoto's on the mound tomorrow, right? You figure Yamamoto throw a complete game, dominate. That's going to be tough. Not tomorrow. They obviously got to travel. I think the next game is Friday. But, man, I can't hate on the Blue Jays anymore. Division rival, a team that dominated the Yankees all season, caught the Yankees after the Yankees had a 8-game lead on them in the division, and then they held the Yankees off all the way to the last game of the season with the tiebreaker, edged them out. and they put the ball into play, but they also hit home runs. They play defense. They're athletic. They're scrappy. And you know what? They've got a hell of a manager, too. Their starting pitching was more than enough. As we're talking about Trey Savage setting rookie records tonight. I'll try to pull some of them up for you as they were saying them all during the game. As he kept going, there was a point where he had 5 straight strikeouts. 1, 2, 3 innings. OptaStats writes, Trey Savage of the Blue Jays is the first pitcher ever with 12-plus strikeouts and no walks in a World Series game. Rookie or not. Eerily similar to when he no-hit the Yankees and had 10 strikeouts. No walks in the DS. And we had to put respect on his name. I also mentioned Cam Schlittler and his performance. And when we heard about Cam Schlittler's day, 40 minutes before he was going out there to pitch, supposedly he was talking to his parents about how to handle some of the hate that they got online, some of the cyberbullying, some of the anonymous messages and people trolling, and you know how it goes. Like, it didn't come to him, it came to his mom, and his mom had to deactivate her account or whatever. And that fired him up because he found out that it came specifically from some people in Boston. And I remember laughing about that, saying, man, if that's what it takes, right? You know, these young guys that grew up in this social digital age, you think that you're getting to them or getting to their family or doing something, it works the opposite, right? Trey Savage came out after the DS in the championship series and said, hey, my family's been getting a lot of hate online. Like, can you guys please stop? Direct it at me. Like, they don't deserve it. Like, it's cruel. It's mean. You know, they're opening up their phones and they're all seeing messages and comments and stuff. And, you know, like, it's been tough on my family. And I got on and I was like, bro, you're a professional ball player. I know you're 22. I know you started off in single A, but never mind that. Go out there and do what you do. And I felt like tonight, because he's not going to pitch again in this World Series unless somehow they need him in a Game 7. They're not going to need him in a Game 7. I felt like he took it out on the world. I felt like he stood on that mound in Dodger Stadium and dominated the Dodgers for everybody that got at his family. What a performance by this 22-year-old kid throughout this postseason. What a performance by this 22-year-old kid, second time seeing the Dodgers in this World Series. Going up against Blake Snell, right? Like, Blake Snell has been in the World Series, has won a Cy Young, has been an All-Star, has been around the block. When you talk about experience, it's not even close. When you talk about money, it's also not even close. The boardroom put up a post that I put in my notes. Blake Snell is earning 486 times more than Trey Savage this year. His salary is $27.8 million. Trey Savage is making $57,204. A lot of us are making more than that. That's crazy. Trey Savage's rise from single A to the World Series in under 7 months is extraordinary. Drafted by the Jays in 2004, he dominated the minors with strikeouts, control, and poise. And by October, he was facing Aaron Judge and the Yankees without hesitation. Here he is facing Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani and the reigning champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Dominated him. 888-808-1019. How about Davis Schneider with the rec specs to start the game off? That's honestly where I there's a video floating around. I think MLB posted it, or maybe MLB on Fox posted it. His dad happened to be filming, which, I mean, it's the World Series. Why not? But they were able to capture the moment in the stands at Dodger Stadium with his family reacting, and you just hear them like, no way, yes, joy, elation. I couldn't hate. It's bigger than a division rival. It's bigger than, my Yankee fandom. I have hit the point with this World Series where, as a baseball fan, I am just enjoying all of the historic things, all of the storylines, and it's feeling like it's the Blue Jays' year. It sucks because the Yankees got to the World Series last year, and now the Blue Jays are looking like a team that could do what the Yankees could not do. But when Davis Schneider has to step up today to be the leadoff hitter, and that's another thing. They're doing this without George Springer because George Springer is down. first pitch he sees, bang, hits it out to start the game. It's insane. It is insane when you watch baseball and you see storylines like that. He's from New Jersey. He's from Voorhees, Eastern Regional. My freshman year at JMU, my roommate played there. I'm familiar. I used to pick him up driving to James Madison University. I know the area. He's also born in Berlin, New Jersey. So this is a local guy, 26 years old, with a hell of a moment to break open the World Series today when called upon, when forced into duty, forced into action. I don't know what to say. I'm watching this game as they dominate the Dodgers again. Like, you want to talk about responding, getting off the mat after 18 innings and Freddie Freeman doing it to you the first game in Dodger Stadium, for them to bounce back and take the next two. Like, this is the last game they'll play at Dodger Stadium for this year. That place is packed. They have the highest attendance in baseball. That fan base is always there. These people watched 2 games in one a couple nights ago. Then they showed up again on Tuesday. The Blue Jays beat them 6-2. The Blue Jays are beating them right now 6-1. It's domination. If you want to talk about run differential, right? Remember the Caster talked about the Yankees have the run differential. And shout out to Michael Kay. But that was a theme this year. And Toronto ran with it because they didn't have the run differential. They didn't have the scoring. They didn't have the offensive output that the Yankees had. But they were scrappy. They were grinders. They were putting the ball into play. They were running it out. I mean, tonight, you would think the Dodgers are the Yankees. The way that they couldn't make throws, the way that they missed balls in the infield. Taylor made double plays that they couldn't turn. Just put the ball in play, like they said against the Yankees. It's pressure. You know, we saw it in the 18-inning game, how many mistakes were made. It's pressure. And the Blue Jays seem to be the better team, better prepared, responding under pressure, and the run differential is not even close. It is not even close. And this is an almighty Dodgers team with MVPs and all-stars and a ton of money that was supposed to be the Goliath in this situation. And no, Toronto has come to play. Those fans in the 6 in the Rogers Center, I know they're going to be turned up for these guys to return. Like I said, they have shut me up. They have shown me that this is their year. They're the better team. Even a guy like Bo Bichette coming back with a knee injury, him gutting it out, and him hitting well in this World Series. He's batting .333 with a .745 OPS. You know, he drove in another run today. This is a guy that didn't play against the Yankees, didn't play in the CS. He's DHing now with Springer down. He played second base for the first couple games. And that's another thing. They have so many interchangeable parts, so many interchangeable guys that can pinch hit, guys that can play multiple positions. It's a well-constructed team. It's a well-managed team, a well-coached team. Those of you Yankee fans that are rooting for Donnie Baseball, he's 1 win away after tonight, assuming that they get these last few outs here. He's 1 win away from actually getting that ring in his baseball life. But then you know what the conversation is going to shift to around here. Hot stove. What do the Yankees do? How do they build a team like this? People are already on it. How do they build a team like the Toronto Blue Jays? How are they going to contend with them? This Blue Jays team won't be exactly the same next year. They won't be back. Well, I won't say that they won't be back. I'll say like this exact team won't be back. No team is ever the same. They just have a lot of different guys, from Ernie Clement, who balled out, Addison Barger, Dalton Varshaw, Davis Schneider. These are guys that have become household names throughout this month of October that a lot of people weren't too familiar with. You know Bichette, you know Vladdy, and shout out to Vladdy tonight with a 2-run bomb, ready to play. This is a guy that has talked about for years wanting to win the World Series to give the ring to his dad. He is 1 win away. Like, they're about to bring a parade to Canada. Sir Anthony Dominguez is on the mound, bottom of the 8th here, looking for 3 outs. And after that, I mean, the Dodgers look dead in the water. Ton of strikeouts. They've only managed 3 hits. One of those hits was a solo shot for a homer. They've got nothing. Ohtani, 0 for. Will Smith batting second, 0 for. Mookie Betts, 0 for. Both of those guys with 2 strikeouts each. Freddie Freeman, nada, 2 strikeouts. Teoscar Hernandez is like that. He's got 2 hits, but he's in the middle of the order where, and there's the first out as Max Muncy grounds out. Like, this does not look like the Dodgers. The other night, now they're showing the wide view. The other night I was talking about how everybody in that building was standing. Everyone is seated now. 888-808-1019. Sam is in Boston on the fan. I might as well take some calls because I'm just going to talk about this till 11, and then we'll get into some other stuff as we proceed. What's up, Sam?
Hey, how you doing? So I wanted to speak to you also. What do the Yankees really need to get back to the World Series era? A lot of my friends and me are talking about, do the Yankees need to fire Boone?
They're not going to fire Boone. I think that Boone managed them to the World Series last year. I think he can do it again and get them back. They need to, during the regular season, not have another June swoon under Boone and take every series seriously, because one more win this season could have changed their fate. Maybe the Blue Jays still do what they do, but it would have changed their course. It would have changed the Yankees' course. What do the Yankees need? Every postseason we watch, it's not the pitching. We have enough pitching. And next year, Cole will be back. Rodon, Fried, Cam Schlittler, maybe Will Warren, Luis Gil. Maybe they add another arm. They need hitters, not pitchers. They need to have we watched too many games in this short postseason where there were automatic outs at the bottom of the order. They led Trent Grisham off this year. He had nothing. Like, there's too many little stupid things as well with the roster construction. They have to. Cashman has to take this and be motivated by it. Cashman's got to. He's got to figure some things out about how to make this lineup deeper around Aaron Judge. I guess they're going to bring Cody Bellinger back. But as I look at this team, I'm like, they don't have holes in their lineup. They have guys at the bottom of the order that do damage. There's no breaks for the starting pitcher. There's no matchups that the opposing manager can play with his bullpen and be like, yeah, we're good here. Meanwhile, the Yankees are rolling out Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells right next to each other, automatic outs. And then you turn the lineup over, it's Trent Grisham. Belly didn't necessarily have a great postseason. Ben Rice, who had a great regular season, didn't have a great postseason. Judge was the only guy that really performed. We were sure that Giancarlo Stanton is a postseason lock. He didn't hit one homer. Like, there's some issues there, even with him at DH. Like, you have a DH that when he gets on base, he can't run.
Judge is not a clutch postseason hitter as well, which bothers me a lot.
He showed that he could be clutch this year. I think we can get away from like Judge isn't clutch anymore. He had a great postseason, and he did hit that clutch 3-run bomb off the foul pole. He did not have the guys around him. He had some low leverage hits, I know, in that 500 batting average and 1,200 OPS or whatever it was. But I think we've moved on from Judge. Thanks for the call, Sam. Judge isn't clutch. Judge showed you he was clutch. Judge was there. There was nothing around him. There was nothing else around him. Who else? Like Jazz Chisholm? No. Who else? Like guys that they traded for at the trade deadline, the combination of Ryan McMahon, Ahmed Rosario, Jose Caballero. I don't know what to tell you guys. That's not enough. The Dodgers are stacked and they're getting dominated by the Blue Jays. They don't have holes in their lineup either. But this Blue Jays team, like I said, man, they obviously have the guys that that can mash, like Guerrero and Bichette and Kirk and Springer. But they have been able to put these other guys into their lineup, like Jimenez and Barger and Clement and Varsho and Davis Snyder tonight. And not even just tonight, this whole month, that have passed the baton, that have come up big, that have put the ball in play, that have helped them when they needed to score runs. And then the Yankees hit the most home runs in Major League Baseball. Where were they in October when we need them? These guys hit home runs every single game. As much as we want to say they're a small ball team, they don't strike out, they put the ball in play, they also can bang. They also can mash. 888-808-1019, Shohei Ohtani at the plate, but it's 6-1, runner on first. Go ahead, Shohei, hit hit a 2-run bomb. You'll still be down 3 runs here. Maybe the Dodgers have a rally in their bones. I doubt it. No, they don't. That gets grounded out for the last out of the inning right at Vladdy. He just falls down, taps the bag, and we're on to the top of the 9th. Keith McPherson on the Fan. I got 3 hours after this. Call me up. Join the conversation. We'll be right back.
It may be the offseason for the Bombers and Amazons, but there's no offseason for Yankees and Mets talk. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
One world-class brand, one legendary name. Ray-Cattina Lexus. Discover Ray-Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray-Cattina Lexus of Monmouth, where they proudly sell more Lexus vehicles than any other Lexus dealership in New Jersey. Experience luxury the way it was meant to be.
Are you fans? It's football season, so make sure you catch all of the Scarlet Knights gridiron action this season on WFAN. Scarlet Knights football is presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
This year's Farmer's Almanac warns of a harsh, super snowy winter. So take control of the wet, snowy, and icy conditions with a new set of Bridgestone winter tires from Town Fair Tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Bridgestone winter tires. For the guaranteed lowest price on Bridgestone winter tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99, and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/8/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Calling all hoops fans, get off the bench and onto the court for another exciting basketball season with BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA. From same-game parlays to live bets, you can call your shot during any play. Rooting for your favorite players? You'll find all sorts of markets for betting on any star's performance on any given night. Don't miss a single highlight or buzzer-beating shot by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today and make your bets. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
We're your official station to talk Yankees and Mets. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good evening at 11 o'clock. I'm Marco Belletti, and this report is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. Well, the Blue Jays are 3 outs away from heading back home with a 3-2 series lead. They're all over the Dodgers, 6-1, top of the 9th inning, nobody on and 2 out. Davis Schneider, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went back-to-back to start the game. First time that's ever happened in World Series history. 2 more runs in the 7th. Bo Bichette with an RBI single. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa with an RBI single in the 8th inning as well. A wild pitch scored a run, and Trey Savage just flat out brilliant on the other side of it. 1 run, that was Kike Hernandez solo shot, just 3 hits, 12 strikeouts through 7 innings. He's in line for the victory. Outdueling Blake Snell, who gave up 5 runs on 6 hits over 6 2/3. The Blue Jays a 6-1 advantage on the Dodgers. They're headed to the bottom of the 9th inning in L.A. Meanwhile, Carl Banks said no one respects Dexter Lawrence anymore, and teams are not doubling him as much as they used to. Dex, not buying all that.
I don't really know what he's watching, but hey, he can say what he wants. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, trying to help us get a win. That's it.
The Nats still looking for a win. Winless on the season, 0-5 now as they fell to the Hawks 117-112, despite 32 from Michael Porter Jr. 54 degrees, cloudy skies, Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Marco Belletti.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Yeah. No more parties in L.A. Season ends for them today out there. I mean, maybe they come back and win 2 games in a row, but that's hard to do. Keith McPherson on the Fan, watching the World Series. I was just talking to Marco, like, George Springer had a helmet on, ready to pinch run for Bo Bichette. These guys are ready to do whatever it takes to win. They can smell the chip. They can smell the World Series parade. And they just took a commanding 6-1 lead into the bottom of the 9th here. We're 3 outs away. We're going to react to it. We're going to talk all around it. I just think, you take 2 games in Dodger Stadium, and the only game that the Dodgers took, it took them 18 innings to get. The Blue Jays have outplayed them in every facet of the game. Outside of, like, Yamamoto being Yamamoto, but... Okay, even if Yamamoto dominates them on Friday, force a Game 7, I don't know. I have a feeling that the Dodgers know that this team is better than them. Their manager is locked in. Even without one of their best players, highest paid players in George Springer, they've got enough. And the Dodgers are folding here. The Dodgers don't have it. Their fans don't have it. They're out of it. They're sitting there in complete shock after Trey Savage goes out there and dominated them. Completely dominated them. Like, I'm at a loss for words, but not really. I've been talking about this since 10:30. Let's go to Ali and Maho Pack on the Fan. What's up?
Hey, Keith. How you doing? Great show.
I'm all right. How are you?
Good, thanks. I called up to joke around about you saying you're all out of heat. I was going to tell you I have plenty of heat left for the Blue Jays to share for you if you need any more.
Good.
But in all honesty, you really summed it up nicely. You know, the hate is really jealousy that, you know, if you're a diehard baseball fan, like I know you said you are, I'm the same way. And, you know, baseball's been my sport for a lot of years. And for all these years that people are telling you that strikeouts don't matter, you see with this Blue Jays team, like they do everything the right way. They don't strike out that much. They play phenomenal defense. They run the bases great. They're so athletic. And they put the ball in play. And like you said, they can hit for power. Like they just are so balanced all around. And so you really love that about this team if you're a baseball fan. I mean, we can hate as Yankee fans, but you got to respect the way they play the game. And especially Vlad, like you watch that guy run the bases and just all out, go out,
worth every
do
penny
whatever
for them.
it takes to win.
Yep.
Does whatever it takes to win. And, like, I hope now that this comes around and other teams start to wake up, like, strikeouts do matter. You have to – I look at IKF, like, when the Yankees acquired him because they wanted more contact.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they get him, they try to make him hit for more power. And they kind of, like, mess his swing up. And now you see him, like, where his value is at.
He's not the first one or only one.
Contact stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for taking my call, and great show as usual.
Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening. And yeah, jealousy and envy is, I guess, where I'm at now. I'm not hating, though. I'm jealous. I'm envious. We've watched this team be nothing over the years. We've watched this team be frauds over the years, like Big Mac has been saying. I think he said he started saying that in 2021, 2022 with Carton and Roberts. We've watched this team talk a bigger game than they ever played. But you can't say they don't go for it. They were trying to get Ohtani. They courted Ohtani, and Ohtani considered, but Ohtani was never leaving L.A. They wanted Juan Soto. You know, they wanted Juan Soto and offered him supposedly more than the Mets, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers. Didn't get him. They even checked on Pete Alonso last year. They signed Anthony Santander. How about Max Scherzer, former Met? Max Scherzer, who I laughed at. Like, they're signing Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer knows how to pick them. Max Scherzer on his way to another ring. Are you kidding? George Springer on his way to another ring. And this one, I don't know. I don't think there's a cheating scandal that's going to come out to tarnish this one. This one's legit. And he's getting carried the rest of the way because he's hurt. But, I mean, obviously, he hit the home run in the ALCS. There is no carrying the guy. He did his fair share of work. Bo Bichette is probably not coming back. I don't know if they re-sign him. He gets to walk off and be done, right? And you remember when it was Bo Bichette, Vladdy, Biggio, and it was like, you know, the sons of former players, and here these kids come, and they have figured it out, man. And I am jealous, I am envious, because I don't remember Joe Carter. I don't remember them going back-to-back in 92, 93. It was too little. I was a toddler. I was a baby. So there's a whole generation of fans that, like, this World Series for them is everything, and it's going to shine. It is shiny as hell. And I've been saying that for the Yankees, right? I remember 2009, I was in college. But I've been screaming for years with the Yankees, win the World Series. Do what it takes to get to the World Series and win, because this next World Series that you get is going to shine more than all of them. It's going to be in 4K. It's going to be in everybody's phones. It's going to be all over social media. That's a different feeling. We didn't, in 2009, Twitter wasn't, it barely, I think it might have just started. Instagram didn't exist. TikTok didn't exist. YouTube wasn't like it is now. The phones, what phone did we have in 2000? Was the iPhone out yet? Maybe the first one? for Toronto, for Canada, like if you talk about the year for Canada, and I don't mean to get political, but you know what the president said about Canada, and you know some of that stuff as Mookie Betts pops up. Mookie Betts has done nothing and hasn't played the sharpest shortstop either. A guy with multiple rings. Going back to Canada, Four Nations Classic, them beating us in hockey. I know when I came in here on that Sunday night and I told you I didn't think any team could beat the Blue Jays 3 games in a row, I also said, my fellow Americans, Canada has assembled a team that is better than us in baseball. Might be better than the whole American League. And here we are. Does this motivate the Yankees? Are the Yankees uncomfortable tonight? The Yankees front office, the Yankees players, are they squirming a little bit? They didn't get a game in Dodger Stadium. They got one game in Yankee Stadium. They should have been able to force a game 6, but they embarrassed themselves and blew that game. Does this make the Yankees hungry? Does this make the Yankees mad? Does this make the Yankees say, you know what? We're winning our division. We're going to knock them down, and we're going to get back to the World Series next year. And if it's the Dodgers waiting for us, this will be us. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I don't believe it at all. I'm not excited for this offseason. They're not going to go for it. They'll have money to spend, but it's not like they're going to go out there and get this wish list that you guys are putting together. Expect them to say, oh, yeah, well, we have this guy, and this guy had a good year, and this guy's coming back, and yeah, we got that. I expect a word salad. And I expect Yankee fans to be upset and be pissed off. This is a Blue Jays team that you're supposed to keep under you. This is a Blue Jays team that you could have altered their course if you took the regular season serious. Now take the offseason serious and build a team that can compete with them. Because that's going to be a narrative all season. Every time they come to Yankee Stadium, they come to Yankee Stadium as the team that played Frank Sinatra, popped champagne, celebrated, start spreading the news. The Yankees lose, knocked you out in a bullpen game. Ended your season in Yankee Stadium with a bullpen game. Vladdy went insane. And then when you go to the Rogers Center, which is a new house of horrors for us, there's going to be, and it's not there yet. I know. They got to get this last out here, and then they got to win one more game. But unless they all just, like, the Rogers Center is going to have a banner that says 2025 World Series champs for Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole and Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Boone to look at. Andy is down in the Jersey Shore area on the Fan in New York tonight. What's up, man?
Hi. I have 2 comments, just one briefly, and then on your comments about the Yankees spending money. I've been a Yankee fan since 1949, and it gives me great joy to see the Dodgers, Brooklyn, Los Angeles Dodgers lose. So hopefully that will be the game. But more importantly, on your comment on the Yankees spending, in my view, Hal Steinbrenner is a businessman. And he will spend up to the cap, but no more. He will spend what he thinks is sufficient to get Yankee fans out to Yankee Stadium. And as long as they make the playoffs, he'll be very happy. If by chance they get into the World Series, that's better. But I don't think the strategy of Hal Steinbrenner is really focused on winning it all, but really bringing in the most fans to make sure that Keith is out there as many times as possible at Yankee Stadium. And as long as the Yankees sell out, he's happy. The fans think they're going to the World Series. All he wants them to do is get to the playoffs to be sufficient to attract the fans and the media.
I don't know. I can't speak for him. I know he doesn't have the burning desire that his father had, and that is final 6-1. Toronto wins. They've taken the last 2 games in Dodger Stadium after the classic 18-inning game. They go back to Canada and need to win 1 out of the next 2 games to be champions. But back to Hal Steinbrenner, and you talking about he's good as a businessman selling tickets. And, you know, you would think that, last year as I'm looking at my time hop, and a year ago, I was at the World Series. Keith McPherson does go to 50 games a year. I'm blessed now. I don't have to pay for all of them, but once upon a time, I was paying for all of them, and I will pay for all of them if I ever am not working at WFAN or don't have the privilege. I don't care. I go to the game. But you would think that they hosted the World Series last year, and they got a taste of that, and that would drive them insane, right? To want to get back. If it's a business and you made all of that money, they made an extra like $2 million off of their run to the World Series last year. I'd be in there pounding the table in meetings saying we have to get back. Do you see? It took us 15 years to get back to a World Series. We made more money than any other season ever. We got to get back in this window where we have Aaron Judge, where we have Garrett Cole, where we have Giancarlo Stanton. We have some of these young guys. We have some of these other players mixed in. It's World Series or bust now more than ever. That is where the money is. And if you win it, you grow a whole new money tree of merch, parties, and then for years, you go 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 25 years celebrating that World Series.
Well, you're speaking as a fan, and I think he thinks differently. And let me make one last comment, which just for the fans. Yeah. Being a Yankee fan from 49, when you went to the series, like with the Dodgers and the Giants back then, the Brooklyn and the New York Giants were in New York, and it was a wonderful period of battling back and forth on your transistor radios while you're in school listening to the series. The world has changed quite a bit. That's all I really have to say.
Thanks for the call, Andy. Yeah, 1949, God bless you. You saw a lot of winning. You saw a lot of championships. You also saw the world turn and change 3,000 times since then. Where we are at right now with the Blue Jays being one win away from a World Series championship, where they throw a 22-year-old kid that was in single A. We got a guy like that. Like, we got Cam Schlittler. You know, they throw Max Scherzer and Kevin Gossman and, you know, like, not for nothing, they did make a trade for a starter at the deadline to go get Shane Bieber because they knew they didn't have enough, and it worked. Let's bring in the Met fan. Because I was saying on the fan, they don't have enough, the Mets were speaking of, to navigate through this National League. Not the postseason, just who they had to face to get to the postseason. They needed to add a starter at the deadline. Oh, well, not too many starters were moved. Shane Bieber was moved. Could have potentially helped the Mets. Both the Mets and the Yankees, right? Because Met fans got to feel some type of way about this as well. You see two guys that were in your building in Chris Bassett and Max Scherzer that are no longer there. They're on their way to a World Series. You see a guy that you had your eye on in Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who obviously is not going to be with you now. Maybe they get crazy and go get Pete because they were checking on him last year. But the Dodgers look like they're about to get knocked off. And I was saying, nobody had played the Dodgers better than the Mets until now. 888-808-1019. Kyle is in West Orange, New Jersey with us next. Go for it, Kyle.
What's up, Keith? Keith, I'm so proud of you. I remember when you first started at night, and you're doing a fantastic job. But let me tell you something. I'm a Yankee fan, and listen, it is what it is. This team, these Yankees, we're looking for that Paul O'Neill guy that takes out the water cooler when he strikes out, or throws his helmet in the dugout. And that doesn't happen. These guys are very laid back. This team takes on the coaches like that. Everybody's like that. And I don't know. I can't blame the Stein Bennett. They've gone. I mean, you know, the Cashman's gone out and he's got guys that are good, that are decent, that are talented. Nobody wants to come here. Nobody wants to stay.
Guys want to come,
and that's what is happening. And you got a good point. Like Soto left. I was happy when he was here. I didn't want him to leave. He goes over to the Mets. We couldn't get anybody in the pitching staff outside of, you know, who we already had. But, you know, we got to hope that Rodon and all these guys and this new kid works out. I would like them to get somebody that's feisty and that's gritty like this Toronto team. These guys, I saw, and this is their one. They had this a couple of years. Okay, they not last year, but I think 2 years ago they were fighting. They were number one, and they lost to the Yankees. So this is their time to come out and do this, because if they don't do this, next year's not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. Ask that to Seattle. Ask that to a team like Cleveland.
Milwaukee.
It's not guaranteed.
Milwaukee made this run this year as the best team in baseball. There's no guarantee that they win that many games and get back into the number one seed. You got to punch your ticket when you have the chance. And the Blue Jays are doing that. Thanks for the call, Kyle. I disagree with nobody wants to come here. We got to throw that out. Everybody in baseball wants to play for the Yankees because they only hear good things about how the Yankees are treated, but it's a double-edged sword because it goes back to what you're saying about these guys aren't that fired up. These guys aren't that pissed off. They don't take it that personal because it's laissez-faire. It's a country club. It's participation trophy era Yankees. I've been saying it all year. I've been saying it for years. Juan Soto chose the most money. If the Savannah Bananas offered him $1 more than the Mets, he'd be a Savannah Banana. We can't start saying that, nobody wants to be a Yankee. If the Yankees offer Kyle Tucker the most money, he's going to be a Yankee. If Alex Bregman gets an offer from the Yankees after opting out of his Red Sox deal, he'll switch in the rivalry. He'll come right over here. They can do whatever with Ryan McMahon or, you know what I'm saying? But the Yankees don't move like that. The Yankees aren't thinking like that. Going back to 2 callers ago, talking about Hal's self-imposed salary cap, that's a real thing. You heard it articulated from Hal after the beard policy change, and that's the only time we heard from Hal all year. Last year, we did hear from Hal, and he was talking a big game, had me geeked up, had Big Mac geeked up at night, because he was talking about, I know what's expected of me. Oh, really, Hal? He basically was saying, I know I got to go out there and make a bid for Juan Soto. But someone bid higher, you were outbid. So have that same energy this offseason. Have that same energy this offseason. Forget your $307, $308 million self-imposed salary cap where you say, you need a mix of homegrown talent because your homegrown talent's not good enough. Volpe and Wells not good enough. Ben Rice, good enough in the regular season, not good enough in his first postseason. I'm sorry. Will Warren, long man, blew a whole game up against these Blue Jays. Not good enough. We're going to keep talking about it. 888-808-1019. I got to take another break. Keith McPherson on the Fan. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I think what's happening in New England is legit. I think now they can win the AFC East.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable, it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Calling all hoops fans, get off the bench and onto the court for another exciting basketball season with BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA. From same-game parlays to live bets, you can call your shot during any play. Rooting for your favorite players? You'll find all sorts of markets for betting on any star's performance on any given night. Don't miss a single highlight or buzzer-beating shot by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today and make your bets. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel.
Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So if you've missed the start of your game and you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you could even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet does win. So just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to sign up today. We all love the app around here. It is safe, secure, and when you get paid instantly. So play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official sportsbook of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Sitting in the driver's seat of the Nissan Kicks is like the best seat in the house. You're in the action. And with the Nissan Kicks all-wheel drive, you can go find the best views. And with the 10-speaker Bose Personal Plus audio system, you can hear everything. Your new wheels await. Reimagine your ride with the reimagined Nissan Kicks. Now get the 2025 Nissan Kicks starting at just $21,830. Shop your local Nissan store or nissanusa.com. Starting MSRP at $21,830 for base model. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP. MSRP excludes up to $1,495 destination and handling charges, tax, title, and license. Dealer sets actual price.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Cars for Kids, the easy way to donate your car. Donate today and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.com or 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Okay. We're back working. YouTube chat is live. A lot of conversation floating around in there. Interesting stuff, right? Like I see my guy Bourbon Legend talking about how Ohtani, a report came out that Ohtani needs 12 hours of sleep. He sleeps from anywhere from 10 to 12 hours. I just don't ever believe anything with Ohtani. I'd never sleep 10 to 12 hours, ever. Even when I'm off. Definitely never during the week. I'm here in the middle of the night. Maybe that explains why he got rocked in Game 4. In the chat, let's see. Poppy Derek says Ohtani draws 20 million viewers. I did have a little note about that came out because I was wondering. I'm like, man, how many people were watching these games? That was an all-time classic. So MLB put out, MLB Communications, after an epic 18-inning game 3 in the World Series, 17.62 million average viewers in the U.S. and Canada, which is plus 27% from last year, obviously, with the Blue Jays versus the Yankees. 18.73 million average viewers in the U.S. and Canada for the whole World Series through 3 games, which is plus 25%. So, baseball is winning. I was saying it the other night. This is good for the game. This is great for the game. Baseball is winning. Even without the Yankees brand, it's the Dodgers brand, it's Ohtani's brand, and the Blue Jays represent all of Canada. They have all of Canada fighting for them. Front Office Sports just put out, the Blue Jays could clinch the World Series in Toronto on Friday. It's nearly $2,000 for a seat for Game 6, the most expensive sporting event ever on record in Canada. I mean, people were paying $2,000 to sit in the bleachers last year, so yeah, that price is probably only going up. These folks are expecting to see history, and there will be a party in Toronto that we've never seen, and it's going to hurt. It is going to hurt to watch that parade. Let's get back to it. Lou is in Astoria on the fan. What's up, Lou?
Hey, how are you?
I'm all right.
Listen, first of all, it's not over yet. Okay, don't celebrate. Don't bet the house on it.
I'm not celebrating, but I just don't see this. I don't see these guys losing 2 games in their building to this Dodgers team. Maybe Yamamoto gets one.
For sure, it's going to go 7 games because Yamamoto is as good as that kid that pitched today, maybe even better. But anyway, I was just going to talk about, you mentioned about Ohtani, okay? Today, Evans had a comparison between Ohtani and the Babe Ruth. And he actually said that Babe Ruth was better because but let me finish. Because he hit more homers than every team. But I said, wait a minute. He played against a limited team. He played against limited players, okay? Minority was not allowed to play, okay? I mean, what I don't understand is, and I want you to look this up, he never mentioned that the Babe never played the field and hit at the same time. And also, another thing very important is that one day when he was pitching, Keith, you're not going to believe this, the umpire called a pitcher ball. He approached the umpire, punched him in the face, and knocked him out completely, okay?
Yeah, it's what are we talking about? Thanks for the call, Lou. What are we talking about? Ohtani is way better than Babe Ruth ever was. Please. Those are fables. Those are fairy tales. You're seeing Ohtani every day for the last 6-7 years. You're seeing in real life the best baseball player ever in modern day time. The way he can hit, the way he can pitch, the stage that he's doing it on, the pressure that he's doing. This is a global icon. This is someone that is carrying the whole country on his back, his whole country on his back, and doing it over here. He's please miss me with the Babe Ruth stuff. It's not even close. It's not even close. Who he's competing against, the level that he's doing it at, please. What are we talking about, bro? He punched the umpire in the face. Okay. Anyway, the Dodgers tonight, they're 1 through 4 hitters, no runs batted in, no walks, no stolen bases, 1 hit, 8 strikeouts, and 15 at-bats. Is this how they're going out? Is this how they're going to go down? Is this how this Dodgers team is going to be remembered? Tough. Let's continue. Justin's in Floral Park on the fan. What's up, Justin?
Boy, I got to follow Lou in Astoria. What a way to follow that. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Keith, Canada. This is great for the Yankees, and I'll tell you why. Okay, this better wake up Cashman and stop going for these all-or-nothing players, okay? And tell your buddy McMonigle, who comes on after you, how are the 4 Blue Jays doing right now, McMonigle? How they doing, buddy? Okay?
Yeah, they're the real deal.
Okay, they are the real deal. Okay, they smoked the Yankees without Bo Bichette, who I want on the Yankees, who's playing on
Chris
one
Bassett,
leg. He's playing on
Max
one
Scherzer.
leg, Keith. Mm-hmm. 1 leg, Bo Bichette. Did Springer play tonight?
No, didn't need him.
Beat him without Springer. Okay, this is a gutsy team, unlike the Yankees. Okay, man. Yeah, unlike the Yankees, Keith. Okay, Cashman needs to take a page. This team was in last place last year.
Yeah,
okay,
we know.
the Toronto Blue Jays. Okay, they're a joke, and now they're going to win a World Series before the Yankees. Now we're going on 16 years, Keith, which is an eternity in Yankee land. Okay, so I hope Cashman's watching, because if he ain't watching, it's going to be 17 years, and it's going to be
then we're hitting the longest drought of all time. Thanks for the call, Justin. Is that what they want? Is that how Cashman wants to be remembered? Is that what Hal wants under his tenure, under his time? Does Aaron Boone want to be the manager? Because in the next 2 years of Aaron Boone's contract, they don't win the World Series. Welcome to the longest drought of winning a championship in the history of the New York Yankees. 888-808-1019. Like, what other motivation do you need? What other motivation do you need to say, you know what, we're going to go out there, we're going to make trades, we're going to sign free agents, we're going to go for it. The almighty Dodgers, the almighty deferrals, the almighty loopholes, Guggenheim Partners are about to be dethroned by a team in your division that you should be able to hang with, a team in your division that you just barely missed taking the division from because you were so cavalier during the regular season. Stop it already. What else do you need? Judge is a year older, Stanton's a year older, Cole's a year older. That window's closing. I don't know. That's enough motivation for me. That's enough motivation. I'd be burning the midnight oil tonight if I'm Cashman and Hal and co. Michael Fishman, the Yankees analytical department. Tonight, how do we fix this tonight? Maybe we could take a couple players from them. How do we change our fate? How do we get gritty? How do we get scrappy? How do we put together a full-on team where it doesn't matter? The whole lineup, anybody coming out of that bullpen, anybody tapped to pinch hit, they get it done. They produce. Like, there's a chemistry to all this. I do feel like the Yankees are soft. I do feel like the Yankees culture of, oh, no, let's protect them. And you've heard him say it. Boone had a whole diatribe about how, oh, the world is hard enough on these guys with social media and the fans. And, Yankee Stadium's a tough place to play. Yeah, because we got to be that way. That's life. Which is what they play now in Yankee Stadium when the Yankees lose. Sean is in Boonton on the Fan. Hello, Sean.
Hey, what's up, Keith? How's it going, man? Great show.
It's going. I'm ready for baseball to end. Congrats to the Toronto Blue Jays. You got it. Like, let's start the offseason. How do we figure out how to get better? And how do we figure out how to, put together a heavyweight team that can go toe-to-toe with these guys so that maybe this time, around in 2026, we're the last team in the American League standing. And, the Dodgers, they might take a step back too. Who knows?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you and that last caller really summed it up well. I'm so sick of this sort of regime right now with these sort of home run or bust guys. Doesn't it signal like blaring alarms when you have ex-Yankees on Fox Sports telling you, oh, would you look at that? Contact kind of matters here. They're drawing walks. They're hitting singles. They're stealing bases. These guys like Barger and Clement and Varsho, you already have your home run hitter. You have Judge. You have Stan. I don't need 35 home runs from Grisham. I don't need 35 homers from Bellinger. I need timely hitting. I need guys aggressive on the base pass and not striking out. I would love to see a statistic about how many actual home runs the Yankees have hit against opposing teams' number one pitchers. They hit home runs off of garbage throughout.
Off of bums. They get fat on these whack teams, these light teams, these soft teams at the end of the year, which gave us a little bit of a thought that we were going to come back and win the division. You shouldn't have to cram like that. You shouldn't have to do that at the end against the White Sox and the Orioles and the Twins. And that was all fool's gold. Barely survived the Red Sox. Who, the Red Sox? Come on. The Red Sox didn't have their full complement of players. The Red Sox, I don't know.
Yeah, and they barely squeaked by them. And you've seen Kevin Gausman in your division for how many freaking years?
They faced him 50 times.
And then he goes to the Blue Jays and he looks like a Cy Young candidate, and then you're getting absolutely dealed on by a 22-year-old rookie. Granted,
you saw their whole bullpen, and then they came into your building and ended your season in Yankee Stadium with a bullpen game. Just that alone is despicable. Thanks for the call, Sean. Just that alone, to go out I would have been pissed off then. What other motivation do the Yankees need? Or is this just a business? Is this just come to the stadium, buy your expensive tickets, go to the suites, go to Legends, overpay for bleacher tickets, buy your chicken buckets, try our new signature cocktails and drinks in a glass shaped like Yankee Stadium. Go to the team store, buy your special edition merch from Mad Happy or New York or Nowhere, and we're gonna win enough games in the regular season to qualify. But ultimately, we're gonna be exposed when the going gets tough, when the lights get bright, and we actually have to dance with the best teams in baseball. 888-808-1019. Phil is in Sheepshead Bay on the Fan. What you thinking about, Phil?
Hey, well, this is what I'm thinking about. After the World Series is over, the Mets have a lot of deep thinking to do. And I think they need guys, you just mentioned before, we don't need power hitters. We need people that put the ball in play.
The Mets or the Yankees?
Now, this is the Mets.
Okay, so let's speak on the Mets. The Mets have enough hitters. The Mets didn't have pitching.
Okay, they need pitching, but I'm just saying, in a lot of clutch situations, look at McNeil. What happened to him? He won a batting title a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think they should try to trade him. I think that they should move on from him if they can.
And let's say Pete Alonso goes somewhere else.
He shouldn't.
Get Bellinger. Bellinger plays 4 positions. You got all 3 outfield positions and first base.
I expect them to be in on Cody Bellinger for sure.
Yeah.
Tarek Skubal. How are the Mets not making sure that they are the ones to get Tarek Skubal this year?
I don't know, but they're going to want a lot. Detroit's going to want all kinds. And I think they got to hold on from the claim.
Passing on. Thanks for the call, Phil. And let's talk Mets, because we haven't had many opportunities to talk about the Mets, but the Met fan is in this too. The Mets organization is in this as well. You want to talk about motivation? Huh. You didn't even qualify. The team that knocked you out of the dance last year, that motivated you to go get Juan Soto and gave you a thought that you were going to somehow be able to match up with them this year. If the New York Mets are serious, they're bringing Pete Alonso back. If the New York Mets are serious, they're making that trade for Tarek Skubal. We all heard that they passed on the trade for Garrett Crochet. The Mets were the first team that was floated out there to get Garrett Crochet because Garrett Crochet said, wherever I get traded, I want to sign. So don't trade for me if you don't plan to pay for me. And so we immediately said, whoop, richest owner in the sport. He paid Chris Bassett. He paid Max Scherzer. Seems like those guys are doing just fine. Not with the Mets, but seems like those guys are doing just fine. Pitching. You can't rely on kids. Pitching. Noah McLean, he looked good, but we don't know what his whole season's going to look like next year. Can't skimp on that. You want to talk about your pitching lab? It's no more. I'm sure there's some version of it, but you fired Jeremy Hefner. You got new coaches coming in. It's a new regime. It's a new day. Are they starting over? Well, if you're starting over with the voices and the leadership, give them some guys that can actually go out there and pitch. Give them some guys that can actually win you some games. You know, you want to talk about run prevention, David Stearns? Run prevention starts with the guys on the mound. Not guys like Kodai Senga, Sean Manaea giving it up. Not guys like David Peterson giving it up. And then, you ask poor little Jonah Tong and, guys like Brandon Sproat, hey, save the day, save our bacon at the end of the season. It's not enough. The Mets should be going out there to make trades for starting pitching and buy starting pitching. When we come back, I will read what Keith Hernandez had to say. Keith Hernandez was vocal about some things as we try to get some Mets calls and get the Mets in on this conversation. You got to feel some type of way. You were knocked out by the Dodgers in the NLCS last year. They went on to win the World Series. Now the next team to beat them is the Blue Jays. It's looking like, and it could be wide open. The National League could be open. They could take a step back. There's got to be some motivation on both sides to get better and push forward to be the last team standing. 888-808-1019. KM to AM returns right after this.
It's Chris McMonigle overnights on the Fan, 1019 FM.
I was against banning the ships. I was against changing that. Hey, players need to react, blah, blah, blah. And then it became clear that they weren't going to react and that the coaches and the organizations weren't telling them to change what they do. And it just made baseball less fun to watch.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Step up to the plate with confidence with the Jeep brand's newest MVP, the all-electric Jeep Wagoneer S. Year after year, the Jeep brand has delivered game-changing technology and features to help keep you off the bench and on to your next adventure. By blending thoughtful luxury capability and advanced technology, the Jeep Wagoneer S is one key player that doesn't disappoint. Experience the brand new head-turning design and luxurious interior without sacrificing on the legendary performance you love. Excellent range capacity opens up the playing field, and with 4x4 capability, featuring select terrain driving modes, how you play the game is up to you. The interior cabin of Wagoneer S pays special attention to detail with high-quality luxury refinements and seamless connectivity that surrounds you in comfort, along with premium seating, ambient lighting, and over 170 standard safety and security features. And like most All-Stars, it can really motor, especially with standard 600 horsepower. It's rugged, plays aggressive, and isn't afraid to get dirty. And with the exciting offers and deals going on right now at your local Jeep brand dealer, it all adds up to Jeep Wagoneer S being a steal. So hurry in today and blast one out of the park. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Having the right winter tire matters. So take control of the roads this winter with a new set of Bridgestone Blizzak tires from Town Fair Tire. Town Fair has the region's largest inventory of Bridgestone tires, all at the guaranteed lowest prices you'll find anywhere. And with 100 locations, you'll find a Town Fair near you. For the guaranteed lowest price on Bridgestone Blizzak tires and the most free services for life, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire. Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Sitting in the driver's seat of the Nissan Kicks is like the best seat in the house. You're in the action. And with the Nissan Kicks all-wheel drive, you can go find the best views. And with the 10-speaker Bose Personal Plus audio system, you can hear everything. Your new wheels await. Reimagine your ride with the reimagined Nissan Kicks. Now get the 2025 Nissan Kicks starting at just $21,830. Shop your local Nissan store or nissanusa.com. Starting MSRP at $21,830 for base model. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP. MSRP excludes up to $1,495 destination and handling charges, tax, title, and license. Dealer sets actual price.
What you want, 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 you need.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Yo. Keith McPherson on The Fan. A couple minutes here before we hit midnight, and I say good morning on the other side. We will be talking about Dexter Lawrence. We will be talking about Michael Carter and some other things. Speaking of other things, Keith Hernandez, Mets legend, the more famous Keith around town. I always love when WFAN Overnight, like Keith says, and then Goofy's online will be like, Keith Hernandez? No, Keith McPherson, silly. Keith Hernandez spoke a little bit today about Pete Alonso, about what the Mets should do. And, as I'm trying to get some Mets conversation in here, it's funny, the chat's like, the chat's like, bold strategy, Cotton, trying to, flip this on the Mets. When I said Mets fans don't call my show, I'm blessed. Mets fans leave me alone. They don't even bother. Poppy Derek says Mets will win a World Series before the Yankees, guaranteed. Not guaranteed. What are you talking about? We're at 40 years. I'm a man. I'm 40. Not yet. I'm not 40 yet. But yeah, let's get back into it with Keith Hernandez comments. And also Keith Hernandez talking about a new deal. And that's another thing I wanted to bring to the table tonight. As the year ends, contracts don't get renewed. John Flaherty, Flash, is out at the Yes Network after 2 decades. Some people were in the chat, Bourbon Legend. Some other people in the chat were like, was that because he criticized the Yankees? Of course not. And then other people on Twitter were like, oh, remember that back and forth with Flash and Michael K? Yeah, it has nothing to do with it. He said he was aware of it. He put out a tweet today. He said, I was informed yesterday that I will not be offered a contract from Yes for next season. I'm very grateful for my 20 years at the network. I want to thank the Yankees and especially the Yankee fans. Thank you for letting me be a little part of your day for 20 seasons. Flash is the man. Great insight, former player. I've run into him a bunch of times at the stadium and other events and stuff like that. It's 20 years. They're not renewing his contract. And my initial thoughts, also, Dave Valley is out and Jeff Nelson. So, I had 2 thoughts. One, contracts expire, contracts run out, and that's just it. They don't get renewed. Also, agents, after, contracts expire, they always negotiate up. Oh, well, my client's done 20 years. He's this and this and this. We want more money. We're in a shift right now. I used to work at Viacom over there at 1515 Broadway. Paramount's laying off people. Cuts and decisions get made and happens all the time. And we're shifting into more of a digital age. We're shifting into a younger age. We're shifting into an age of these cell phones being the dominant screen. Not the movie screen, not the TV screen, not the radio listening in your car or, a radio that's plugged in and by your bed. Everything is through the phone. So businesses are shifting everything to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X. And, with Dave Valley, Jeff Nelson, and John Flaherty not coming back, I was talking to one of the homies. I'm like, bro, there are kids that never saw those guys play. They don't know who those guys are. They don't resonate the same. Now, Yes is sticking with Paul O'Neill, David Cone, Joe Girardi. Understood. A lot of these kids can remember Joe Girardi managing the team. And I honestly think the best boot they have is when they go with Girardi and Kay, or if they go Paulie, Coney, and Kay, because you get when you have Girardi, you get the manager perspective and you get the catcher perspective, former player manager. It's great. And he did it with the Yankees. And then with Cone and Paulie, you get the pitcher hitter perspective with the K-ster. It's It's just business at the end of the day. I also threw out there, I think I said it online, they have Adam Ottavino, they have Todd Frazier, and Dellin Betances. So those guys have been on the desk at the mothership up in Connecticut for the Yes Network. Those are younger players that the younger fans like. You got to think about it. And we'll talk about Carl Banks later. As I was listening to Carl Banks, I heard what he said and I heard what Dexter Lawrence said. And today Tiki Barber was talking about how Carl Banks hasn't played in the NFL for 30 years. As I talk about Babe Ruth being a fairy tale in a story, you got to think about how they're targeting 18 to 25-year-olds on television. If a kid is 18 to 25 years old, he doesn't remember. He wasn't alive. So you got to hit these young kids with people that they relate to, and I think that's where the shift is going to. Ryan Ruocco is going to be on the call. Last year, Justin Shackle was on the call. Who knows if they're going to put Todd Frazier on more games, if Adam Ottavino wants to do games, if Dellin Betances wants to do games, or any other Yankee from the last 10 years that we don't know about that's trying to get into the game, because they're all doing YouTube streams. They're all doing podcasts. They're all doing content. Everyone is. So there's my little diatribe on that. But Keith Hernandez on his future with SNY. We haven't begun negotiations, but we will. I am not ready to retire. A 3-year deal will take me to age 75. I'm ready to do another 3. And this team is kind of fun to watch. He was on the Show podcast with Joel Sherman and John Heyman, and he also spoke on Pete Alonso. He said, you're not going to replace his bat. To me, he's the second coming of Harmon Killebrew. Plus the fact that he's a right-handed bat, you take Pete out of that lineup, where are you going to find the replacement? Where are you going to find 125 RBIs? So there's a glowing endorsement from your favorite first baseman on the Mets before Pete for your current first baseman. I think his words carry a lot of weight, and I echo what he has to say, because I've been saying for a while, the Mets aren't good enough to consider not bringing Pete Alonso back. What's the point in having the richest owner in the sport and losing 35 homers a year, 125 runs batted in? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to lose Pete Alonso because David Stearns doesn't see fit. I think this is the offseason where, David Stearns, we think you're smart and all that. We trust you and all that. But I think Steve Cohen's going to butt in with his wallet and say, nah, we're not doing that, bro. Also, Keith Hernandez talked about Tarek Skubal. He says it's going to be curious to see what transforms in the offseason. I think the Mets are going to make some moves. I think some people are going to get traded. It'd be nice to get a number 1 starter. But where are you going to find that? If you're going for Tarek Skubal, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. I always say pitching is the name of the game. You got an arm and a leg to give. David Stearns wanted to see these young guys. Give some of them away. You're not going anywhere without pitching. Look at this. Look at the game we just watched. And I know I just talked about Jonah Tong and Brandon Sproat and Nolan McLean. Maybe if those kids got an opportunity, they could put together a Trey Savage performance. But this kid is 101. We've never seen this before. This kid is 101, what he's doing. From single A to not even having a month of service time to going up against Aaron Judge and the Yankees, Cal Raleigh and the Mariners, Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. Incredible. But the Blue Jays weren't just relying on kids. They have Max Scherzer. They have Shane Bieber. They have Kevin Gausman. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be a combination of both. 888-808-1019. I'll say good morning on the other side, and I will introduce some other topics as we're running out of time. I'm on till 2 a.m. KM to AM returns right after this.
The home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN.
Cuts it up along the numbers and waltzes into the end zone.
The Ravens take on the Dolphins. 8:15 tomorrow night.
It is right down the middle and good.
Thursday night football is on the Fan. 1019 FM and always streaming on the iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Odyssey app.
Sitting in the driver's seat of the Nissan Kicks is like the best seat in the house. You're in the action. And with the Nissan Kicks all-wheel drive, you can go find the best views. And with the 10-speaker Bose Personal Plus audio system, you can hear everything. Your new wheels await. Reimagine your ride with the reimagined Nissan Kicks. Now get the 2025 Nissan Kicks starting at just $21,830. Shop your local Nissan store or nissanusa.com. Starting MSRP at $21,830 for base model. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP. MSRP excludes up to $1,495 destination and handling charges, tax, title, and license. Dealer sets actual price.
What you want, what you want, what you want, what you want, what you want in me.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Sports with Evan and Tiki. Afternoons from 2 to 7. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 12 o'clock. I'm Marco Belletti, and this report is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Also brought to you by policeofficersrighttosue.com. Well, pivotal Game 5, winner takes the series 67% of the time when the series is even at 2, and Trey Savage stole the show.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A dozen Ks for your Savage. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th.
Trey Savage, 7 innings, a 1-run ball. He fanned 12. That's the most ever for a rookie in a World Series game as the Blue Jays dismissed the Dodgers 6-1. Call courtesy of the Blue Jays Radio Network. Davis Schneider, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went back-to-back to lead off the game. First time that's ever happened in the World Series. They got to Blake Snell for 5 runs over 6 2/3. They sent the champs to the brink. Toronto heads home up 3-2. Meanwhile, Carl Banks was very critical of Dexter Lawrence, going so far as to say no one respects him anymore. He's not producing for facing the same amount of double teams. Well, Dex not buying it. He is motivated, though. Is he motivated to hear from a former Giants legend question his ability?
Nah, but if people listen to him, then you go. Then let's say this. I hope people start trying to disrespect me. Let's say that.
And the Hawks top the Nets 117-112 despite 32 from Michael Porter Jr. Brooklyn now 0-5 to begin the season. 54 degrees, cloudy skies, Central Park. That's happening. I'm Marco Belletti.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Good morning, good morning. Let's do it, man. 2 hours to talk sports. I know we're coming off of World Series Game 5, a historic performance by a 22-year-old rookie in Trey Savage, and a remarkable team that we're watching in the Toronto Blue Jays. They're for real. Just use your eyes. They got a bunch of guys. They don't need George Springer. It's whomever. Whoever's coming out of that bullpen, whoever's coming off that bench. 888-808-1019. That's what all the calls are on. I did just start to talk about a couple other things, like the Yes Network moving on from John Flaherty, Jeff Nelson, Dave Valley, sticking with Paul O'Neill, David Cohn, Joe Girardi in their broadcast booth with Michael Kay. Ryan Rucco will be there as well. I think the numbers were something like Kay's going to do 135 games, Rucco's going to do 15. But I also know Justin Shackle does some games too and works with them doing on-field reporting and stuff. There are other options. You know, and in the chat, shout out to Resist Evolve in the chat who pointed out Something important when you're talking about guys in this area being at Yankee Stadium or being at Connecticut. You know, Flash is a local guy. And I mentioned Todd Frazier, Dellin Betances, and Adam Ottavino. They're all local guys as well. Former Yankees, but guys that can get to the stadium, get to, the headquarters in Connecticut when need be. So I don't know. You guys tell me the next former Yankee that lives close by. Is CeCe down? Nah, CeCe's a Hall of Famer. CeCe, he's chilling. He doesn't want to do any of that. But anyway, I went from that to talk about Keith Hernandez, who's talked about, wanting to get a 3-year deal done with SNY. But he also was vocal about the importance of Pete Alonso and how the Mets need a number one starter. And, they're going to need an arm and a leg for Tarek Skubal. But so what? That's what you got to do. You need an ace. Trey Savage became an ace. Yamamoto's on the mound for these guys. In the next game, he's an ace. You need the pitching. I think they have enough hitting if they bring Alonso back. 888-808-1019. We will also get into Dexter Lawrence, his rebuttal. Yesterday we were talking about, is he hurt? Is he out of shape? What's going on? Does he not want to be here? After Carl Banks pretty much said that he's not respected anymore. They're not double teaming him as much. We'll talk about Dexter Lawrence. We'll play the audio of what he had to say today. And also, the trade deadline approaches, and the Jets made a move for a receiver, and they said happy trails to Michael Carter. We'll get into that as well. And, it's Thursday, so boom, here we go. It's week 9 in the NFL where the 49ers will come to town, and the Jets will not lose this week. 888-808-1019 down in Atlanta. Let's talk to Greg next on The Fan. What's up, Greg?
Big Keith, what's going on, brother? It's been a while. I've been listening to you.
Yeah, I'm here, man. Still watching these games.
Radio silent for a while, just listening. But, as a Mets fan, I got to give the Blue Jays their props. I can't be mad at them, man. They're doing what they're supposed to. The Blue Jays is something I wish the Mets would do. Even by saving the Yankees. You guys know their roles. Guys are not making it too big, going beyond that. Oh, by the way, I just want to let you know I did celebrate that they got rid of the hitting coaches. So that's the first big step.
It counts as something. Heads did roll. They didn't fire Mendoza, but they held somebody accountable. Hopefully it works.
Yeah, they should have fired Mendoza. Don't even get me started on that one. I mean, shoot, I played baseball back in the day, and there's been so many instances where there was no outs, and he wouldn't even double steal with the fastest guys on the base. So, like I said, he's a great personnel manager, but I want to get into that today. What I also was going to mention that I agree in a sense regarding Pete, but I don't agree if it's going to be like 6-7 years. I'm sorry. We pretty much got most of the prime Pete.
I honestly don't think anyone in baseball is going to give him 7 years. The way that you get to 7 years is if there's somebody that, like, perfect example, Max Fried's contract. The Yankees shouldn't have given him all those years, but the Yankees were willing to go that far to land him so that he didn't become a Blue Jay or a Red Sox. So it depends who else in the market is bidding for Pete Alonso with the Mets. I don't think too many people are going to bid with Steve Cohen, but we'll see. I think he's in line for a 5-year deal.
Okay, I got another real quick one for you, a quick tidbit, because I know you got other callers waiting. My other thing is that I understand the whole thing about Skubal, but I think they could get a guy who's close to an ace. You've got some pretty good young talent on our team, but there's so many other holes to fill. And I was thinking that instead of going for that big ace, because don't get me wrong, we've had aces before, like poor Jacob deGrom suffering when he was on the Mets because we had no hitters. I just don't want to see that again. And that's what I don't think we have the depth of the hitting that we need. Hopefully the culture will shift a little bit and we'll get guys who, perform in their roles. I don't want to see a guy talking about I used to be a great contact hitter, but now I want to be a power hitter. I don't want any more of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I want guys that know what their roles are. You're going to have the power hitters on the team. You're going to have the guys that's what we're seeing right now with the Blue Jays. And that's the blueprint and the formula that the Mets and the Yankees need. That's all I'm saying. But I want to get your take on that. And thanks for taking my call as always, brother. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for the call, Greg. I mean, you need your boppers to be boppers, of course, but it's baseball. It's supposed to be station to station. You're supposed to put pressure on the defense. You're supposed to put balls into play and see if in the most high-pressure situation all season, the World Series, if these guys can do the basic things like field the ball, throw the ball, and throw it to the correct base. Like, that's when baseball becomes baseball. when the unknown happens. It seems like a scheduled out and something off scheduled happens. So, a lot is going to be made of the type of guys that the Yankees need to get or the type of guys that the Mets need to get. They have them. And the home run, they have the home run hitters too. You need home runs. I said there isn't a game that the Blue Jays won where they didn't hit the home run. The Blue Jays have outscored the Dodgers 23-7. As I'm talking about run differential, the Blue Jays have outscored the Dodgers 23-7 in the 3 games that they've won in this World Series. And they almost took the 18-inning game, right? And it seems, I think I saw maybe Buster Only report that, the 18-inning game, it was such a high for the Dodgers and Dodger fans, right, to go up 2-1 in that game. But Buster Only wrote, rival evaluator, in quotes, seems to me that the 18-inning game took a lot more out of the Dodgers than the Blue Jays. The Dodgers are the older team, so to be expected. I mean, the Blue Jays are younger, but they're also scrappier and they're resilient. They are completely resilient. George Springer was the hero in Game 7 of the ALCS. He goes down, not a problem. Davis Snyder, you're up. First pitch he sees, home run. Changes the whole feeling and vibe and tone out there. Let's go to Tony in Montreal on the Fan. Timber Tony, what you thinking?
Yes, sir! Canada! Kick those MFs down in L.A., yeah! If anybody that I do not like, it's L.A. and their smug L.A. attitude. And you guys in New York should be happy that we're kicking their butts.
Some are. Some people are.
Because they deserve it. They deserve it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you're 100% right. You know David Stearns? I hope you're listening, bro. You're wasting your money. Look at the way they went to East Carolina, the Panthers, and they pulled out Trey Savage last year in June, the 2024, and he's in the majors today. 12 strikeouts, no walks, a World Series record for a rookie. You know what? Keith? You're a clairvoyant, man. You called it. That guy, Soto, when he turned his back on his teammates when they were scoring home runs or doing stuff, this team is the opposite of Soto. They love each other. And when John Snyderman, the manager, makes a mistake, they don't crap all over him. They support him, and they come back. I call it the demolition crew. That's a demolition hitting team. And that you got this crazy guy, this 26-year-old superstar. He doesn't care. He thinks he's playing in the park. He's got a smile on his face. He's loving the limelight. He doesn't feel any pressure, man. He's pointing to God. He's pointing to his dad. And he's pointing to his teammates. And then he says, I'm doing this for Toronto. I'm doing this for Canada. You guys in New York, whether it's the Mets or the Yanks, you better wake up because something is going on really good in that franchise in Toronto because they're pulling people out of nowhere. East Carolina Panthers produced Trey Savage. How come nobody else saw him? You know, Keith, you called it straight up last year. And when I started talking to you, because you know you're an athlete. When you get bested by somebody, you go, why are they beating us? You don't just say we're an arrogant franchise that's won 24 Stanley Cups like in Montreal. Montreal finally realized after losing 32 seasons in a row, we're doing it wrong. We got to go after rookies. Cole Caulfield, Hudson, and all these superstars that are 22 years old and 24. And you're right, 100%. That 18-inning game, that's a doubleheader. It took everything out of Ohtani. He looked like a dead dog the next day. He was a dead dog, man. And you struck out, twice today? 0-4, 0-3, 0-4. And you get a guy like Snyderman. Who knows Snyder? Who knows Snyder?
He's a Jersey guy.
And smacks. Hey, listen, brother. I was down in Milano's in downtown St. Leo, the most Italian part of Montreal, and the boys are going crazy because they're saying, you know what? This is a team of destiny. These guys love each other. Imagine if the Jets had this kind of love for each other.
All right, Tony. Thanks for the call. I think the Jets do. Who want to fly with them Jets? We'll get to the Jets in a minute. It is the East Carolina Pirates. I had a couple friends. My boy AJ went to ECU. Never got down there to party with him, but Trey Savage, a Pennsylvania kid, went to ECU. The Pirates. It's the Carolina Panthers, like Bryce Young, Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard. A little bit of a cross up there. Yeah, but like let's not act like Trey Savage. Why didn't anyone find him? Because he was picked number 20. Like, he was first round, picked number 20 overall last year at the All-Star game in Texas. The Blue Jays scouting department, you tip your cap to. He's a dog. He's cold-blooded. The moment is not too big for him. This is a kid that literally went from A-ball to the World Series and is making history, and he's made for the moment. Not everybody is. That's what I talk about. I just was saying, like, put the ball in play. See if Mookie Betts can make a throw. See if Tommy Edman can field. See if that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough. The whole world is watching. This is it. Championship on the line. The Dodgers already got their chip. The Dodgers already won with Ohtani last year. And speaking about Ohtani again, with his sleep schedule, you know, that thing that came out, Ohtani sleeps 12 hours. I just don't believe anything around Ohtani, right? 12 hours. Maybe his setup. Like, first off, how do you get out of Dodger Stadium as they're showing us the traffic? How do you get out of there fast enough? I guess that's what affected him, right? 18-inning game. They play 2 games. You can't leave. You can't get back to sleep at home the proper time. You're the next day starter. Doesn't go so well. All the glazing of Ohtani, all of the hyping up of Ohtani. Ohtani didn't get his rest. Ohtani didn't get his proper sleep. I'm like, what is this that they're showing right now? If you're watching Fox's post-game coverage, it's like AI, not Allen Iverson. It's artificial intelligence, but it's Jeter in like Yankee Stadium and like the Yankee clubhouse. Like AI is getting too good. I'm like, is this a flashback? No, this is now. I was like, what is this? TNT? Is a bomb in the stadium? And then you have like a dog and police? What is Jeter telling a story about something? I can't turn the volume up, but that just tripped me out. I'm like, what is this? This isn't real footage. They made this with artificial intelligence as Jeter's telling a story about something that must have went on in Yankee Stadium. Anyway, trying to get back to my train of thought. Dave Roberts. How goofy does Dave Roberts sound? Well, when this season started, they said we were ruining baseball. Let's go get 4 more wins and really ruin baseball. Yeah, all right. Bill is down in LBI, Long Beach Island on the Fan. What's up, Bill?
Hey, Keith. What's going on, pal?
Hanging out. Talking baseball.
You know what? So I'm going to hope you end a bar argument that we had for the last few days.
Okay. Where you guys drink down there in LBI? I know a few spots. I know a few places. Where was I at? I was at the Backyard Bar, right next to the Wawa. My wife is from that area, so we were down there Labor Day weekend. But anyway, go on.
No, so long story short, right? So the argument was, right, and it kind of fantails into Donnie Baseball maybe one win away from getting his ring that he deserves. But is Mike Trout a Hall of Famer? And listen, he may be, but above Keith Hernandez or Don Mattingly?
Yeah, it's just a different time. Because Keith Hernandez and Donnie, they definitely should be in, and they have a case to be in. But I think like when it's time for Mike Trout and this era and the people that are going to be voting for Mike Trout, he's probably first ballot. So it's tough to say like over those guys, different era.
Well, he's got less than 400 home runs now, right? So I don't know,
Trout?
He won't hit 500.
I think Trout has 400 home runs.
I thought it was like 390 something.
Mike Trout career home runs 404. So probably this year, this year he got past the 400 mark, and he's still playing.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, it was a 2-hour, 3-beer conversation. It was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in this era of the who was I'm blanking on who just got in where we were having Scott Rowland and I'm blanking the catcher from Minnesota.
Mauer.
Yeah, like these guys are first ballot Hall of Famers, or these guys not first ballot for Ron, but they're getting in. Scott Rowland and Joe Mauer are in. Then like Trout, a guy that they look at like he's going to be first ballot.
I'm a South Jersey guy, right? So I'm rooting for him, but
the Millville Meteor.
You know what? Maybe because we just don't see him.
Yeah, because he's West Coast and he's hurt.
Coast. Yeah, and it seems like the last 5 years he's been hurt. So my argument is that if he's going in, those other Mattingly and Hernandez got to be in because they, for my eyeball test.
Yeah, but they got to get in through the errors committee. Thanks for the call, Bill. Shout out to LBI. Down there deep in the Jersey Shore. They got to get in through the errors committee. Like the Veterans Committee has to vote them in. Trout will be voted in by the Baseball Writers of America, probably first ballot. So it's tough to even put that together. Like over Keith Hernandez and Don Mattingly, yeah, their ship might have sailed. Trout is an active player. Trout just got over 400 homers in September. He's still adding to his career numbers and his legacy. And there is some grace for him because a lot of people do feel like if he wasn't hurt and if he also didn't have loyalty to the Angels, his career might have been different. People were comparing him to Mickey Mantle. People were comparing him people were looking at Mike Trout as, the best player. How many MVPs does Mike Trout have? Mike Trout, before Ohtani came along, 3, and he's got 4. Yeah, I think Trout is in there probably first ballot. 888-808-1019. When are the Yankees trading for Mike Trout? Never. But that conversation always pops up. I want to get back in the chat to some of these conversations that are popping up. Chat is going good tonight. Some of the Keith McPherson haters are out. Appreciate you. Come on down. Some of the people that are just Yankee haters and want to talk baseball and want to put their takes in anonymously on the chat. A lot of guys in the chat where it's not their face or name, it's just a letter. The internet allows you to be anonymous like that and say and do whatever. I'm not even going to read some of this stuff in the chat. It's funny. Back to the phones we go. Bobby's in Belmore. Bobby, you're on the fan.
Yeah, sorry about the Freudian slip yesterday. It's just, the Giant season's usually over by Halloween.
I've done it on air. It happens.
Yeah, and, I was watching another great, exciting thing, watching the Knicks, Towns. I watching Giannis have a nonstop motor. And the set that we have has like a fan. It's just unbelievable, the difference between two. And that
Giannis's motor, he can travel across the whole court pretty quickly, no call. He'll walk a mile before they blow that whistle.
Yeah, he doesn't get tired, the guy. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. He's got Secretary's heart. It's just unbelievable.
You know what I was saying? We're not going to do too much Knicks tonight. We'll do that tomorrow. But the Sixers, I'm looking at the Sixers now. It's like I did not consider them a threat. But with VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, whatever Embiid is going to be, like the Sixers might be a problem in the East. I know it's early.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, when we get to the baseball, I just heard that Yascenti makes $57,000 this year. And the Dodgers hitters are making $148 million.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just unbelievable.
You gotta love that about baseball, right? The business of baseball. This kid made $57,000 this year coming up. He's going up against Shohei Ohtani, a $700 million man. They put him side by side with Blake Snell. Blake Snell's making $27 million. Talk about a bargain. Talk about bang for your buck.
Yeah, it was crucial. They got to it. They had to win the next two, and they did. So now, even Yamamoto shuts them down. I know they'll go Gosman. If it does happen, who do you like in a Game 7? If it goes
the Blue Jays. I've already pretty much crowned them. I've already kind of just folded. Like I said, I can't even hate on them anymore. They're a team of destiny. This is their year. These guys are smelling it. Like what they just did in Dodger Stadium the last 2 games, responding to that 18-inning game. How can you not be impressed?
Right. It reminds me of the Sox of 2018, when that happened to Eovaldi going those 6 innings. And Bichette gets hurt, comes back, and the guy's sitting like he never even left. It's just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And then Springer gets hurt, and it continues. The next man up. So I think it definitely looks like it's on their side. And, the Yankees, with the Yankees, I'm not going to hate on the Yankees, but it's just, this is a better Dodger team than last year because of the starting pitching. It's not even comparison.
Right.
Even the Blue Jays lose the next 2. I mean, it's just like, look what the Blue Jays have done with the Dodgers and compared to the Yankees did last year against a staff that really had 1 starter last year.
I don't know. Maybe their scouting department is better. Maybe their analytics are better. Maybe their team is more of a team. Like, I just look at them, I'm like, these guys are all for one. They're pulling the same rope. They're resilient. They pick each other up. They have a deep lineup. They trust whoever John Schneider is bringing out of the bullpen. They trust whoever the starting pitcher is on the mound to get it done. They got freaking Shane Bieber on the mound yesterday. Trey Savage, a 22-year-old kid. These kids, they're trusting guys in the World Series that haven't even been with the team. Shane Bieber didn't get with these guys till August. Trey Savage didn't get with them till September.
I know. It's almost and Scherzer, they wouldn't be. I mean, in the Seattle, he pitched great in that game 4. When they were game 3. I'm sorry, we're down 2-0. And the Seattle, and he really pitched well, and he actually turned that series around. I mean, I know he's not what he was.
A Hall of Famer who still got it when he needs to turn it on and compete and be Mad Max. But he wasn't competing down the stretch where he was blowing games for them, and they almost lost the division. They didn't even put him on the division series roster. He wasn't on that roster against the Yankees. They didn't need him. They didn't want him. Chris Bassett, Bo Bichette either.
Yeah, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. It looks like it's just destiny. These guys, Scherzer had to pitch in weeks, pitches a real good game against Seattle. Bo Bichette had a lot. He had an RBI in the last 3 games. Guy can't even run. I mean, and then now Springer. I mean, they might even better off with Springer on the bench because of their defense. Now they could put Bichette at the DH. So I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting decision if Springer supposedly might come back the next game. He was going to pinch run for.
I was about to say he had his helmet on. He looked like he wanted parts. Yeah. He's got another day to rest, and I know he's going to want to play in a elimination game in their building. He is clutch. He's been heroic.
If he's going to, I know. I'm just saying they might be even better off with him coming off the bench, but I know he's not going to do that. He's not going to. If Springer wants to play, he's going to play. But as far as Judge, I mean, Judge hit great in the postseason, but he didn't really like look at Guerrero. I'm not saying he had to be like Guerrero. I mean, Guerrero's hitting out of his mind, but as far as he had that 3-run homer, when they were down 2-0, that big shot. But I don't see Judge do that, get really big hits at big times. But the Yankees, it's feast or famine with them. In Toronto, they put their bat on the ball, they don't strike out. And the Yankees, their lineup is just made to strike out or hit the 3-run homer. I mean, or they don't do the little things, and that's what the difference is. And as far as next year is concerned, I mean, I think they got to try to trade Stanton. His salary's lower now. Maybe I don't know. Somebody
they won't take him because it's not all just business for the Yankees. And I get it. And I just talked about Stanton as this year in the postseason. Thanks for the call, Bobby. This year in the postseason, what did Stanton do? The double he had off the wall, like he thought he hit out and then he apologized for it. His contract is coming down now, where maybe he is tradable. They're not going to trade him because the Yankees play a lot of games as far as like what he means to the team. Right? He's a second lieutenant to Aaron Judge, really the first, because Judge doesn't talk. Like Judge literally said, "Oh, we needed a wake-up call. We needed G to talk like that." You're the captain. What are you talking about, bro? You need a wake-up call? You needed to hear from Giancarlo Stanton after you lost games in Texas? And anyway. But, yeah, if the Yankees were on some, we're going to do whatever it takes, we're moving on from Stanton because we can't have an unathletic DH that clogs up the DH spot, and then when he gets on base, he's a liability. He can't take the extra base. He's slow. You can't pinch run for him because you, in theory, got to keep his bat in the game because he can hit a home run that can win you the game, that could change the game. I don't know. And like I said, with his money coming down, maybe somebody would consider it, but I think the Yankees will consider it a bargain. Well, we already paid for all these years. Hopefully, he's still got something in the tank here, and But yeah, there's some things they got to look in the mirror and decide on. And when you talk about Judge, Bobby, and everybody else, Judge did it this postseason. I spoke this whole season about what if this is the year? What if this is the year? Judge failed at the highest level, the World Series. He was mocked. He dropped the pop-up. I talked about his personal life. He's a father now. What if this becomes the October where he can't be mocked? They can't mock his October. His numbers were there. But just our luck, this lineup that we thought was so deep in the regular season, this lineup that hit all these home runs, we were so pumped to see, Trent Grisham's clutch all year, get him to October. Cody Bellinger, look what Cody Bellinger can do, get him to October. Ben Rice hits the ball harder than anyone in baseball consistently, get him to October. We already know what playoff G is going to be. October Anthony. Jazz had a 30-30 season, get him to October. It did not materialize. They did not have it when it mattered the most. In a bullpen game against this Toronto Blue Jays team, they had one hit for a homer that came from Ryan McMahon, the least likely of suspects. They had 2 hits after that, and then they got some cheap hits at the end of the game, but it was already too late. Let's go to Brian in Massapequa on the Fan. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Keith, appreciate your show. Enjoy listening to you. I think what's being missed with the Toronto team is the fact that they've got that new hitting coach, and he preached that selective aggression. And I think their bat speed increased the most of anybody in the majors. So that was a dramatic shift that not only affected 1 or 2 players, but the whole lineup is a far better hitting team. And that's what kept them in the series. That's what kept them in the games.
I can't disagree. Shout out to, I don't know their hitting coach's name, but I mean, Don Mattingly is their bench coach, right? They have, I said, maybe they have better analytics and obviously better scouting and better coaching and put these guys into a better position. I did see today that James Rawson, the Yankees hitting coach, is likely to return to the Yankees because the Twins are most likely going to hire Derek Shelton. There was a rumor that, he could be the manager over there. So the Yankees are just going to run it back for the most part with the players and the coaches for the most part.
No, I hear you. And I think that's the challenge. You can't be expecting to do the same thing, like insanity, do the same thing over and over again, expect a different result. Toronto did something different, and it's worked. And they have that it factor that you talked about as well.
Yeah, and the camaraderie and just they seem like a team of destiny right now. Thanks for the call, Brian. 888-808-1019. Let's take a break here. I do want to play some audio from Dexter Lawrence. I do want to talk about the Giants because the Giants are going to play this week. I don't want to just sit in this, the Blue Jays are so great, and the Yankees, what are the Yankees going to do to be the Blue Jays? Nothing. They're not going to be. All we can do is hope. Hope we continues. Keith McPherson on the Fan, 888-808-1019. We'll be right back after this.
The home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN.
Cuts it up along the numbers and waltzes into the end zone.
The Ravens take on the Dolphins, 8:15 tonight.
It is right down the middle and good.
Thursday night football is on the Fan, 1019 FM, and always streaming on the iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Odyssey app.
Injured? Don't be a whiner. Call me, Attorney Mark Miner. I'm Mark Miner, and I have over 30 years of experience handling personal injury cases. If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. You can trust that the personal injury law firm of Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner will treat you with respect and fight for your rights. Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE for a free consultation. Our goal is to transform your pain into payment. If there is no recovery, there is no fee. We handle all type of accident cases and value the opportunity to help you. The sooner you call, the better. If you are injured, call 1-800-LAW-LINE so we can discuss how to transform your pain into payment. Don't be a whiner. Call Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner at 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner, personal injury attorneys.
Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. That's 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Imagine a gentleman's club with over 200
get gorgeous exotic dancers every week.
Hey, big boy.
From the people who make fantasies come true, Gallagher's 2000 in Long Island City is the place to be. Gallagher's 2000, a gentleman's club for today, gentlemen. Gallagher's 2000 features 2 floors, 3 stages, discounted drinks, VIP, champagne rooms, and dinner specials every night. Gallagher's 2000 offers complimentary lunch Thursdays and Fridays with any drink purchase.
Come on down, big boy.
Gallagher's 2000 is New York's largest upscale gentleman's club, and Gallagher's 2000's bachelor parties will blow you away. For their bachelor party specials, call 718-361-1348. Gallagher's 2000 is located at 4319 37th Street in Long Island City, Queens, just a half a block north of Queens Boulevard. Call 718-361-1348. Gallagher's 2000 is unlike any club in New York. Come tonight for the time of your life. Gallagher's 2000.
Let your imagination run wild.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Right back at it on the Fan in New York. The World Series shifts back to Toronto as the Blue Jays take a commanding 3-2 lead, bouncing back from the classic 18-inning game, winning the next 2, and putting 6 runs up on the Dodgers both nights, and stunning the Dodgers fans as they take back-to-back losses in their building to end their season at Chavez Ravine. 888-808-1019. Robbie is in Lenox on the Fan. What's up, Robbie?
Going on, I called because I fell asleep around 8:30. It was 2-1, and I woke up and I had a big smile on my face watching 6-1. I hope I record it because just to see Savage's performance. That's very special. Strike out 12 of those guys, especially that team, and it's just wonderful watching the Dodgers go down. I don't know. I just hated the Dodgers since I'm a little boy. You know, ever since I had to watch them lose and go to the World Series as a kid. You know, in the 70s and 80s, so it's nice.
Understood. It seems like the dominant Dodgers have met the team of destiny, and the story is writing itself in a way that, you know, I don't think many of us thought after the Dodgers pulled off that 18-inning win.
I couldn't believe it. I said, you know what? The Blue Jays have been resilient all year long, though, Keith, and I felt that they were going to bounce back, and they did. And people underrate their starting pitching. Their starting pitching has been fantastic. You look at the Dodgers. Everybody put the emphasis on the Dodgers starting pitching. It's been the Blue Jays starting pitching, and their timely hitting has been great. And that was amazing. I first saw the first 2 at-bats, and then I fell asleep. It was so funny. All of a sudden, boom, first pitch, boom, flat. It's 2-0. I go, wow, this feels good. But I have to say, honestly, I hope Brian Cashman was taking notes tonight, Keith. I wrote it in the notes on the YouTube. The fact of the matter is that the Yankees have nobody around Aaron Judge. Now, you can talk about Bellinger, and you can talk about Grisham like you talked about. All these guys do is strike out, and then 214. And A-Rod's right, and I'm sick and tired of hearing this, that average doesn't matter. Would you rather have 9 guys on your team, Keith, that hit 280 or hit 214? You take your pick, okay?
280 is high.
Right, of course. Well, 280 is high, right? In today's ball game, unless you're Aaron Judge. You know what the Yankees need to do? They need to go out and get Kyle Tucker. They need to go and get some stars, just like the Dodgers have, even if the Dodgers lose, but put some people around Aaron Judge that are better than what they have now, okay? Because it's getting a little late. And honestly, with Aaron Judge's injuries, maybe the fact of the matter is maybe they should try him at first base next year. I don't know. But the Yankees need a first baseman. And you know what I saw today? You would laugh, Keith. I saw somebody sent me a picture. I wanted to send it to you. It was a shirt sale on Anthony Volpe. It said 2 for the price of 1 on it.
Yeah, that's tough. Thanks for the call, Robbie, but I can't even laugh at the Volpe stuff because that's our shortstop. Like they're not, like, some of you want Bo Bichette. They're not about to pay Bo Bichette. You're going to see Jose Caballero to start the season. Volpe's going to go to Somerset, get a couple games in, and he's going to be right back. It's not funny. Like, it's not. Like, I can't even laugh at, like, we're laughing at ourselves. Austin Wells is your starting catcher. They can do better. Go out there and get me a right-handed hitting catcher so that they can platoon. Is Ben Rice the first baseman? I don't know. I don't know. I am not optimistic about this offseason. I do not think Brian Cashman watched this game and said anything like, there was someone that, I think my guy, Johnny Lasagna, made a joke that I brought to the fan. I remember one of the callers heard it and thought it was an actual quote from Brian Cashman. I had to say, wait, this is a joke from Twitter. This isn't something that Brian Cashman said. But he took a picture from Brian Cashman at the end of the season press conference and then in quotes wrote, well, you know, we feel pretty good about ourselves because it's the team that eliminated us last year versus the team that eliminated us this year. So that means we're pretty close. Like, there's no solace in that. There's no comfort in that. There's no, oh, we're close because we're watching a World Series between the team that defeated us in 2024 and the team that defeated us in 2025. I don't think Cashman is saying, okay, now I know what I got to do to fix this team. They will cut corners. They will come up short. They will have their own salary cap. They will not spend the most. And, you know, when you think about Juan Soto and the Yankees getting to the World Series with Juan Soto, it took the Yankees to miss the postseason. It took the Yankees to have their worst season in 30 years, 82-80, to say, okay, the Empire is going to strike back. We're going to give up all the pieces that we have to give up for Juan Soto. And what you got was a team that was flawed, but a dynamic duo of Soto and Judge that powered them through the season enough to get to a World Series. Regardless of the course, Royals, Guardians, whatever. Who was the Batman, or who was the Robin to Judge's Batman this year? Cody Bellinger? Stanton? Jazz? Ben Rice? Trent Grisham? There wasn't one. There wasn't one. When you look at Judge's numbers compared to everybody else, there wasn't one. You also lost Gleyber Torres. When we want to talk about a leadoff hitter, Gleyber Torres had a decent postseason last year as the leadoff hitter. And Trent Grisham was terrible. I think after the first game in the DS, I was saying you can't lead off Trent Grisham anymore. It's do or die now. And they kept doing it. Like, this is the first postseason that they didn't actually, like, listen to the fans, listen to the media, and reverse course. They're like, oh, we're sticking with our lineup. The lineup is the lineup. Oh, now the lineup that's striking out a ton, the lineup that's not working, now we're sticking to that lineup. Okay, guys, you got it. You got it. But you would think that watching the Toronto Blue Jays, your division rival, go win a World Series for the first time since '93, and, another division rival, not the Red Sox, but another division rival, go get a World Series before you in this 16-year drought, you would think that would motivate you to say, okay, we're getting Kyle Tucker then. We're going to pair Kyle Tucker up with Aaron Judge for the rest of Judge's career. But I think what they'll do is get a good deal on Cody Bellinger. They'll bring back Devin Williams. Maybe they'll make a couple trades. Maybe they'll pick up one free agent starter to, try and bolster the rotation. I'm not expecting too much. Mark is in Fort Lauderdale on the Fan next. Go for it, Mark.
I love your show, man. And the thing I think that makes you great is you have a great etiquette. You appeal to everybody. A 60-year-old guy like myself or a 25-year-old kid, I just admire the way you talk to the
Thank
guest.
you. Appreciate that.
And also want to say the most important position in baseball, it hasn't changed in all my 50 years of watching this game. This is my first game in 1968 at Ford Field watching Clemente. My dad was an usher behind him. Is the general manager in baseball is the biggest, most important thing. You look at the Blue Jays; they've done an incredible job not only with their farm system, their trade acquisitions. They moved a guy like Yestovich and from Dunedin all the way up the ladder this year. I mean, getting Jimenez was a key acquisition. Dalton Varsho they acquired from the Diamondbacks. They also had chips in their minor league system to get these guys and trade these guys. I mean, I just came back from Arizona a couple weeks ago. I saw Bryce Cunningham. I saw Kate Smith. There's a lot of teams that want those guys. So if the Yankees, to use the old Steinbrenner term, need marquee players, you got to move some of these guys to get the marquee players. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens this offseason.
Yeah, you're 100% right about the GM being more important than the manager. And in Yankee land, the manager is an extension of the GM, never managed anywhere else, was handpicked by the GM. I just don't know if they have the fire, right? When Boone was asked about, how do you ensure the fans that you guys are going to overcome? I don't know. When you hear Cashman talk, he says, well, ultimately we came up short of our we came up short of our ultimate goal, but we had some successes. Like, they just always kind of find a way to pat themselves on the back. They always kind of find a way to say, we're not that bad. 33 consecutive winning seasons, we're not that bad. But it's not about being.
Sure you're going to see. You think this year you're going to see Lombard and some of the other big young prospects with the Yankees get a shot?
No, Lombard's not ready yet. From the 3 games that I went to Somerset, he's a Pelotero, he's a player, but he's not ready to come up and be the shortstop because Volpe isn't what we thought he was. He needs a whole nother year of AA and maybe some time in AAA, and then maybe 2027.
What's your thoughts on Spencer Jones?
The conversation around Spencer Jones is that they're going to trade him because all the conversation we're having in Yankee land is, hey, they strike out too much. Spencer Jones is a strikeout machine. He can hit home runs, but you add him to this lineup, and in his first postseason, he's probably adding to the Ks. He's adding to the strikeout rate more so than the home runs hit out.
Well, it'll be an interesting offseason. It always is. It's great to hear your voice. It's great to hear your show. I one day just want you to don't forget the college help build it when you get the national show because you deserve it.
No, I won't forget anybody, Mark, and thank you for the compliment and the call all the way down there in Fort Lauderdale. Great place to be. And it makes me think about how many people listen to this New York radio show, this New York radio station, my show every night, Big Mac, the morning show, or the warm-up show, the morning show. They're you never know who's listening. If you follow me on Instagram, I think I mentioned it last night. Shout out to Farrell Monch. Farrell Monch was in the comments on WFAN Instagram, and I'm like, yo, I just rapped over one of your beats. And he hit me up. He followed me. I followed him back. And, that's why I laugh at my haters or people in the chat. Oh, this guy sucks. This guy's the worst talk radio. Yeah, whatever, bozo. Farrell Monch, who is a legend in the hip-hop world, he goes, dope. I'm already a super huge fan of your show. And I'm like, you never know, especially in New York. And it's New York to the entire universe. You never know who's hearing your passion, your knowledge, your perspective, your takes. I don't come in here like I'm better than anybody else. I don't come here like I know everything. But I do come in here like I can relate and that I know enough to host this show and entertain and talk about whether we're talking about hockey, which I just picked up in the last 3-4 years, whether we're talking about baseball, which I'm obviously a Yankee fan and been a baseball fan my whole life, football, which I played all through high school and college, and I consider myself really actually a football guy, or hoops. Who doesn't love the NBA and college basketball? Like, I'm blessed. I'm blessed that I get paid to talk. I'm blessed that I made more than Trey Savage this year. Trey Savage, $57,000. He's making a lot more. They win this World Series. Watch how many endorsement deals. Watch how he'll have a Rogers Center commercial, TD Bank deal. They'll make sure they get that kid right. 888-808-1019. The World Series now has a team facing elimination, and it's the defending champs. And if you're a Yankee fan, a Met fan, whatever, or just a baseball fan, like the Dodgers rolled in thinking they were Goliath. And right now, David, which is not, it's not David and Goliath. I saw Joe Davis had an interview on Foul Territory. Shout out to all the good folks at Foul Territory. They've had me on that show at least 5 times. He said people came in thinking this was David versus Goliath. It's not. I even took a couple calls this week talking about, the Toronto's payroll's nowhere near. Yes, it is. They're the 5th highest payroll in baseball. It's near the Mets, the Yankees, and the Dodgers. It's the Rogers Center. It's Rogers. Like, they tried to get Ohtani. They tried to get Soto. Nobody wants to go up there to Canada. And with no one wanting to go up there to Canada, you also have to get crafty in who you draft, who you develop, trades that you make, guys that you find, how you put the team together, who's managing the team. They've done it. They've done it, man. From worst to first. We thought they were a joke. We thought they were frauds. Speaking of a joke and frauds, the New York Giants, I'm just kidding. I want to give the Giants a couple compliments here. I want to put some things into perspective here as we shift in my last hour to talk a little bit of football, local football. And I do want to play Dexter Lawrence's comments. I think it's important to do that. And I think we might see Dexter Lawrence's best game of the season. And sometimes you just need that. Sometimes you need people to hate. You need people to doubt. I know I'm motivated by that all the time. I see people write a couple stupid, goofy things. I'm like, wait till they see what I got up my sleeve. Wait till they see what I'm working on next. Wait till they see what I do next. Give you more to hate. But with Dexter Lawrence, Carl Banks came out, and he does the Believe Network Giants podcast with Bob Papa. Shout out to Bob Papa, big-time Yankee fan. I just had Bob on a couple weeks ago going into the Broncos game. Carl Banks came out and said he called out Dexter Lawrence. Carl Banks, a former defensive lineman, outside linebacker, edge rusher, a guy that knows his defense. He called out Dexter Lawrence because, not for nothing, and I was saying this last night, Dexter Lawrence was the number 17th ranked player in the NFL. I remember watching him mic'd up where he's just a menace. He harasses the other team's center and guards. He's still getting double teamed, but he's not commanding the respect that he has in years prior. And I don't know exactly what it is with him. He does have a little bit of an attitude with the media. I think out of everyone in that Giants locker room over the course of this Daboll era, he's been the most disappointed about the losing. So, I'm breaking it down into parts here. I think there's a part of him that hates losing and realizes he's in a losing organization. He was drafted and signed into an organization. They're not going to win anything. Now, I have not watched every single play. Like, I don't have the all 22. I watched the game, but the game camera don't stay on Dexter Lawrence the whole time. I even heard Evan and Tiki going through how many snaps he was double teamed. I'm sure they double team him a lot, because that's another thing. With this Giants defensive line coming into this year was pick your poison. Who are you going to stop? Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon, Brian Burns, or the rookie Abdul Carter. And shout out to Abdul Carter. And shout out to Jackson Dart. I saw a clip today. Usually Cam Scatteraboo works out or warms up with Jackson Dart. And they just had Cam's helmet out there. And supposedly Cam was wheeling around the facility. Like, Cam is still going to be the spirit animal that he is. He's there in spirit. He's just not physically going to be able to run guys over and yell and scream and be himself. But I saw Abdul Carter step in to warm up with his quarterback, his first-round rookie mate in this thing. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, okay, with all this talk about firing Shane, firing Daboll, because the show I did yesterday was all that was call after call about Shane and Daboll are terrible. Their record, they suck. Get them out of here. We're tired of it. They're not going anywhere. Because in the first round, they won the draft. And in the later rounds, they won the draft. And there's a chance that they win offensive and defensive rookie this year. If they don't win another game, there's still a chance that Abdul Carter is the defensive rookie of the year and Jackson Dart is the offensive rookie of the year. They're not firing those guys after that. And you know what is crazy to me? Now that we're talking about Jackson Dart makes so many plays off script. Jackson Dart is really good at making off structure plays. There is a lot of conversation that is just ridiculous to me about how Brian Daboll doesn't get credit for that. You know, because WFAN will clip up myself and they'll clip up Big Mac and all of our hosts, and they'll write a caption, and the caption is clickbait. And shout out to our digital team, because that's what you got to do. Like, there was one with me about the Knicks yesterday. It was like, Keith says the Knicks season has come to a screeching halt. I don't even use the two words screeching halt. But it was a well-written caption because people don't listen. They don't listen to my entire show. They don't even listen to the whole video because attention spans are short. But when you see it pop up, I'm about to go to it now. Yeah, Keith McPherson says the Knicks hype has come to a screeching halt over the last 2 games. No, I didn't say that at all. All I said was this is a championship or bust season for the Knicks. And after you lose those first 2 games on the road, now the hype has died down some, and you're saying, wait a minute. You know, Sal Licata calling Mike Brown Mike Clown today. BT saying they're not going to win with this team after 4 games. I didn't jump to any conclusions about anything. All I said was, hey, it's a make or miss league. They're not hitting shots. They're playing a lot of guys, but so what that you're playing a lot of guys if you're not winning? They're still working out, figuring out whatever. So back to the Giants and my take with Brian Daboll. You know, what I've been doing now is kind of writing my own caption, taking the WFAN video and writing my own caption. But I give Brian Daboll credit. He's the one that discovered that Jackson Dart was a quarterback that he wanted to draft this year. He's the one that developed him. And people are not giving him credit. If you don't want to give credit for Josh Allen, I understand. But you are outside of your mind if you think that Jackson Dart, somebody's going back and forth with me today, giving Lane Kiffin the credit for what Jackson Dart is in the NFL. Stop. Stop right there. Like, there was the 50 meeting or the all 50 meeting. There's a meeting that you're allowed to have with a potential prospect. I forget the name. Or top 30 visit. In that top 30 visit, Jackson Dart impressed Brian Daboll and the Giants so much they knew he was the guy. They could have been forced to draft Shedeur Sanders because, Shedeur Sanders has Giants cleats. Remember all that nonsense? Oh, how do you not draft Shedeur Sanders 3 overall? Easy. Nobody's going to draft him for 3, 4, 5 rounds. But to think that you guys are so down on Brian Daboll that you don't give that man credit for what you're seeing with Jackson Dart is insanity. Lane Kiffin did not make him this. Lane Kiffin helped him in college, I'm sure. You just heard Patrick Mahomes give Cliff Kingsbury credit for believing in him at Texas Tech. But you know who really believed in him? Andy Reid, who traded up to get him at 10, made him sit for a year and learn. And then when he got in, Brian Daboll has been working with this kid since April. It's been 5-6 months of Brian Daboll and the relationship that he's developed with Jackson Dart. He was the one that told Shane, this is my guy. And you have no idea how much time these guys spent together in the film room, on the field. Like, some of you never been in a film room. Brian Daboll is literally his teacher. And yes, we'll play some audio from Kyle Shanahan talking about Jackson Dart. His athletic ability and him being a baller, he's able to make plays off script. And I talked about, okay, it's not necessarily that Brian Daboll is calling the plays and scheming guys open, and he ain't got anybody to throw to anyway, as we get ready to see Ray McLeod. But we have gotten to a point now where people are not giving Brian Daboll credit for this young quarterback's success in the NFL, and that's just stupid to me. And you can give credit to Jackson Dart, but if you don't give credit to Daboll, then give it to Kafka. Because we've seen this guy enter the NFL and be stone cold, ice in his veins. And some people said, he was like that in the preseason. Preseason, it's vanilla defenses, and you're not playing against anybody. He's playing against guys that got cut. He's running Brian Daboll's offense. Brian Daboll birthed him into the league with Joe Shane. We've gotten so far down this path that, like, now Brian Dable doesn't get credit for Jackson Dart. He definitely does, and Shane gets credit for him and Abdul Carter. And similar to how the Jets had Rookie of the Year on offense and defense in 2022, and then the Texans followed up with Rookie of the Year on offense and defense in 2023, the Giants might collect hardware for offense and defensive Rookie of the Year in 2025. 888-808-1019. When we come back, I will play Dexter Lawrence's response to Carl Banks saying that they don't respect you anymore, and they're just putting one blocker on you, a single block with a backup center, and what Dexter Lawrence had to say. When we come back, we'll play what Kyle Shanahan had to say about Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo as we get into the 1 o'clock hour and we talk some football all the way up till 2. We'll also hit on the Michael Carter, John Mechie III trade with the Jets. Stay with us. 888-808-1019. Keith McPherson on the Fan. I'll be right back.
It's BT and Sal, middays 10 to 2 on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
To me, I think Jackson Dart is real, and I think that you do as well. I think most people look at Jackson Dart and say he's the real deal.
Listen to BT and Sal on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Alex Shulman of Shulman & Hill, New York's premier injury law firm. We'll always go the extra mile when you're hurt in a car accident. If you've ever wished you've had a lawyer in the family, now you will. At Shulman & Hill, it's never one and done. Once you're a client, you're always part of our family. New Yorkers in every borough and on every block know us by name. Shulman & Hill. Get your free consultation at hurtny.com. That's hurtny.com.
Right now, police are stepping up patrols to make sure drivers and pedestrians obey our crosswalk laws. Why? Because every year in New York, people are injured or killed just crossing the street. So remember, pedestrians, obey traffic signals and use crosswalks. And drivers, yield to pedestrians in crosswalks. If you don't, we will educate you on the law, and you may get a ticket, because tickets get attention, and that saves lives. A message from the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Everyone knows when Sunday comes around for kickoff and tailgates, you got to come ready. And who's the MVP of my game day spread? Mike's Amazing Mustard. This stuff just isn't a condiment, it's the first round pick. Put it on your hot dog, your sausage, or your favorite hero, and it's an instant touchdown. It's bold, it's got that perfect bit of spice, and it always delivers in the clutch. So this season, when it's 4th and goal at the grill, don't pass the ketchup, pass the mustard. Mike's Amazing Mustard. Find it this season at ShopRite.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
With over 90 years of combined legal experience representing the law enforcement community, Decolator Cohen & DePrisco, LLP, continues to strive to educate police officers of their civil rights to sue in line-of-duty accident cases. The 2025 Police Officers' Right to Sue newsletter can be viewed on policeofficersrighttosue.com and provides successful results in varying line-of-duty accident cases. These results include damages recovered from RMP accidents involving the City of New York and civilian motorists, station house defects, ricochet injuries from the range, private premises slip and falls, sidewalk slip and falls, construction defects, snow and ice cases, and injuries emanating from defective RMPs. In any LOD accident, it is important for the officer to take photographs of any defects, injuries, or damage. It is also essential to draft the line-of-duty report and detail the cause of the accident in the paperwork. Remember, there's a 90-day time limitation to file a claim against a municipality. If any law enforcement member has a question regarding a potential lawsuit, contact Decolator Cohen & DePrisco, LLP at policeofficersrighttosue.com or call 1-800-901-1529.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, You can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-848-2299. 800-848-2299. Again, that's 800-848-2299.
Get breaking sports news here. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, an Odyssey sports station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 1 o'clock. I'm Marco Belletti, and this report is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Winner of Game 5 when things are even at 2 takes the series 67% of the time. The Blue Jays ready to go from the jump.
And the 0-1. Vladdy rocks the ball. Left field and deep. Back to the wall. It is gone again. Back-to-back blasts in the first, and in 3 pitches, the Blue Jays lead 2-0.
Davis Schneider, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went back-to-back to lead off the game. First time that's ever happened in World Series history as the Blue Jays erased the Dodgers 6-1. Call courtesy of the Blue Jays Radio Network. Trey Savage dominant. 1 run over 7. Struck out 12. Most ever for a rookie in the World Series. Blake Snell gave up 5 runs over 6 2/3, while Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman combined to go 0 for 11 with 6 Ks as the Blue Jays head home with a 3-2 series lead. Carl Banks turned some heads when he said, "No one respects Dexter Lawrence anymore." That led to this response from Dex.
Those are strong words, but that's how you feel.
Does it mean more to you that, those words mean more that they're coming from him, like a giant legend? No? Why not?
He's delusional. No.
And the Hawks, they finished off the Nets 117-112 despite 32 from Michael Porter Jr. Brooklyn starts the year on a 5-game skid. 54 degrees, cloudy skies, Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Marco Belletti.
New York sports is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. WFAN is the only place where Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets fans come together and sound off. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Ever since I left the city, you. Look at Drake. Drake's about to win. Drake is about to be on a float with the Toronto Blue Jays. All that talk about Kendrick versus Drake, LA versus Toronto. Toronto is about to win. Keep McPherson on the Fan. The Giants need to win this week, and I think they can win this week. I don't think Brock Purdy's playing. He was limited in practice again. He has a toe. And I'm sorry, Giants fans, the 49ers probably look at the Giants as a team that they can beat with Mac Jones. So surprise them, shock them. I don't think you're going to out-coach them. It's going to be tough to outplay them. But anything can happen, and your only 2 wins came in your building. Speaking of out-coaching them, Brian Dable was quoted saying, looking at the 49ers defense, he sees a lot of all gas, no break. I didn't hear the audio, but everybody immediately reacted to that on Twitter because all gas, no break, that's Rob Saleh's line. Rob Saleh, former Jets head coach, is now back with the 49ers as their defensive coordinator under Kyle Shanahan. And as I was talking about Jackson Dart, and I have probably played you every cut over the weeks that I've found, from Matthew Stafford to Nick Bonito to Vic Fangio, everybody singing the praise of Jackson Dart. Well, here's more praise, and it's not going to stop. Here's more praise from Kyle Shanahan after he's watched all of the game film of Jackson Dart this year.
Did you guys like Jackson Dart during the draft process, and have they done a good job in sort of doing some of the things he did in Mississippi with Lane that he's doing now?
Yeah, I've watched more of him in his NFL film than college film, but I've been real impressed with him. They're mixing a lot of RPOs and stuff, which I think is really good for him, and he's got a good feel for him, and he's been real impressive watching the tape. He's got a very good knack for off-schedule plays, attacking while scrambling. You drop any of your players in coverage, he finds them. His vision is pretty elite when it comes to seeing holes in the defense when he gets outside that pocket, and just watching him even play in the pocket too. He knows how to play quarterback, and he's been extremely impressive so far.
On day 2 of the draft, did you guys consider or have conversations in your war room at all about possibly drafting Scadaboo? And what did you think of him when you saw him on film at ASU?
Yes, we did, and we loved him. He was awesome.
So there you have it, folks. As much as you want to get rid of Joe Shane and Brian Daboll, they won the draft. Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers, who have been a pretty consistent model of winning. I know they haven't won the Super Bowl. I remember making jokes about how they get treated way different than the Dallas Cowboys. Look at their Super Bowl drought. They've got there, but they haven't won it. They had Dart and Scattaboo on their draft board. And Shanahan, an offensive mastermind, an actual one. I mean, I give that credit to Brian Daboll, but I know you guys don't want to. But Kyle Shanahan is known for being an offensive mastermind. You just heard what he had to say about Jackson Dart. Here's a couple cuts today from Brian Daboll, as we get ready for Niners week. Go ahead, Fleeks.
The effort and style that they play with, that's the all gas, no break style, if you will. I've known Coach Saleh for a long time, and I just think he's a really good football coach that, those guys play hard. His fingerprints are all over it. Defensively, I think Coach Saleh does a tremendous job. Those guys play extremely hard, turn the football over. They're number one in the league in causing forced fumbles, play fast. Really, I'd say their speed is apparent in how they play, which is a testament to Coach Saleh.
Yeah, so he didn't say it like a joke, but it was very matter of fact. All gas, no break. He talked about how, he's known Rob Saleh. He outlasted Rob Saleh around here. And now Rob Saleh is going to be back running the steps at MetLife Stadium, unleashing his defense on Jackson Dart, and plays are going to get made. Plays are going to get made. I did see about Ray McLeod. Let me see if I can find the exact wording of it. My notes are already all over the place. They're very long. Okay, so Connor Hughes, Monmouth University, go Hawks, fellow alumni. He said Ray McLeod is spending a lot of extra time with Jackson Dart after practice. He was originally joined by the tight ends and other wide receivers. Now it's just Dart and McLeod. Wide out on the practice squad. Could be option to be elevated this week. Giants are in need of pass catchers. So Ray McLeod, you get him from the Falcons. He's there. Clearly he's working with Dart. He's trying to get some rhythm, rapport, some reps. He might be ready to go. Why not elevate him? You got nothing to lose. So I'm using that to segue into this. Plays got to get made and things got to change because down the stretch here, the Giants got to win about 4 or 5 games to quiet all the noise around Daboll. He's not going anywhere anyway, but it would help a lot to get some wins, more wins in that building. One coming up on Sunday and some other ones down the stretch. I was looking at Giants District on Instagram, and they compiled a couple damning stats that build the case for the fans that are against Brian Daboll. The Giants rank number 1 in delay of game penalties. What does that say about your offense and your team? They're not ready to go. They're not buttoned up. They're not disciplined. They're a mistake waiting to happen. The Giants rank number 8 in false start penalties. They have 13. Same type of thing. Giants rank 12th in third down conversion rate. That's middle of the pack, not great. They rank 21 in fourth down conversion rate. That's not great either. They rank 25 in red zone conversion rate. Some of that goes back to the start of the season. Also not good. They rank number 2 in defensive pass interference penalties with 9. They gave up 200 yards with all of those penalties, which ranks number 1. That's tough. They rank number 5 in total penalties committed. That's not good. They rank number 2 in total penalty yardage at 560. That's terrible. They've blown 3 2-possession leads against Dallas, New Orleans, and Denver. And all of those things build the case against Brian Daboll and this regime. But the guys on the field got to figure it out. And one guy that's got to figure it out on the field is Dexter Lawrence. And when I break down Dexter Lawrence, I don't think it's the elbow. The elbow happened in November, and I had Bobby Skinner on. Shout out to Bobby Skinner. Bobby Skinner pulled up a video where he said, is the elbow injury to blame for Dexter Lawrence having less production? Here is a clip of him winning tug of war in February at the Pro Bowl. Re-injury, he practiced very little in training camp, and there's a video of Vita Vea and Dexter Lawrence is the anchor, and he's pulling this rope like his elbow is perfectly fine. So I don't think he's hurt. I also don't think he's out of shape because we talked about him not practicing that much. Is his condition, his wind not up? It's week 9. Where I think we're at with Dexter Lawrence is a combination of things. Now, I don't want to say that he's the type of player to quit. I don't think that, but I do think he's affected by the fact that this is a 2-6 team. This is another losing season. This is another season you're not going to the playoffs. This is another season where you put your hand in the dirt and the first place, Saquon Barkley, your former teammate, is running down the sideline for a home run 65-yard touchdown. So maybe his effort, maybe his want-to level is not where it needs to be to dominate. He's only 27 years old. I was saying last night, I had a caller saying maybe he's washed. He's not washed, but he is paid. And we have seen players get the bag and not have the same hunger, not have the same tenacity, not have the same effort level. So if he's not hurt, if he's not washed, like, I don't know what it is. But when Carl Banks calls you out and that video goes viral in the Giants community and even reaches further to the NFL community, and you're the number 17th ranked player out of 100 in the NFL, Keith McPherson referred to you 2 years ago as the next Aaron Donald. Now that Aaron Donald is out of the league, you have to get back to being Dexter Lawrence. You got to, when I say that, like, you got to be a problem, a terror. You got to wreak havoc in the middle of the field. One guy shouldn't be able to block you. They should have to double team you every single play. So let's hope that Carl Banks inspired Dexter Lawrence to play the best game of the season this week against the 49ers. Here is what Dexter Lawrence had to say in response to Carl Banks saying, no one respects you anymore. You're not the same player. And like when we're looking at all these different things with the Giants, and I just gave you all these, penalties and stats and negative things about the team, a captain on the team, one of the best players on the team, has to be one of the best players on the team for you to win. Here's Dexter Lawrence in response to Carl Banks.
Those are strong words, but that's how you feel.
Does it mean more to you that, those words mean more that they're coming from him, like a giant legend? No? Why not?
He's delusional. No. I don't really know what he's watching, but hey, he can say what he wants. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, trying to help us get a win. That's it. Nah, but if people listen to him, let's say this. I hope people start trying to disrespect me. Let's say that.
Okay. I hope people. So like the couple things, how we ended both of those. I hope people start trying to disrespect me. They are by not double teaming you. They are by having a backup center on you. Like that's, and like I think that kind of got lost in context. I don't think that Carl Banks was saying you're a scrub, nobody respects you. I think what he was getting at was you commanded so much respect that when offensive coordinators were game planning, they're saying we have to stop 97. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to double team 97 because he can ruin our day. He can blow up any play. We have to double team 97. That's not the case anymore. They feel like they can run away from you. They feel like they can have one guy on you. And the World Series has restarted on my screen. I'm about to turn this off. Davis Snyder, first pitch, home run. George Springer, the most happy person out of them all. But like, here we are at this point in the season. He only has half a sack. They're running out of good players. You don't have Malik Neighbors. You don't have Cam Scattaboo. You don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, your good players have to shine. Your good players have to be your best players. 888-808-1019 for the Giants fans to weigh in on Dexter Lawrence, on what Carl Banks had to say, on Jackson Dart now, who is down his running back, his starting wide receiver. He's throwing the ball to guys that are dropping passes. Somebody put up a low-light reel. And this is something I've been following all these Giants content creators on Twitter and Instagram. It helps me do my job. It helps me get a real good feel of the fans and what they're talking about. Somebody put together a reel of all the drops that Dart has had or the plays that like didn't count because they came back for penalties. And what I kept saying as I'm watching, I'm like, damn, Dart be hooping. Like, when I say he's hooping, like, Dart, he throws the football like he's shooting a basketball. Like he gets buckets. Like he is able to put the ball where he wants to put it, and it gets dropped sometimes, or it doesn't turn into what it's supposed to because it's a penalty. Help this young man out. This is his rookie season. He's out there balling, and now he's literally on his own. But he's not on his own, and I won't say literally on his own. he has done a lot on his own to change the look and feel of this offense. But without Cam Scatterboo, Tyrone Tracy, here you go, brother. Tyrone Tracy was hurt for a little bit. Cam Scatterboo emerged. Tyrone Tracy has to get back to his playmaking of 2024. He's not Cam Scatterboo and not the same style, but he's a pass catcher. He's a former wide receiver, and he can run. He can gash teams too. Devin Singletary, you got to step up now as well. And then at wide receiver, if they can elevate Ray McLeod, if Darius Slayton can be solid, like I saw a lot of that too. People calling like, you're calling out Dexter Lawrence as a captain. Why don't you start calling out Darius Slayton? It's Darius Slayton's first game back. And I'm not making excuses for him. He's a veteran. He got paid. Darius Slayton has to be a threat. And I'm also not mad at Darius Slayton because that should have been a touchdown. Him and Quinyon Mitchell, that offensive pass interference was egregious. That's another thing that I had in my notes. Again, and I know it is Thursday now. We got the Ravens versus Dolphins later tonight. The NFL season is rolling. It is week 9. We got to get over last week's game. But it is universally spoken on that game was the worst officiated game of the week and actually the year in the NFL. 11 missed calls in that game. Let me see. The refs completely lost, and this is from Fantasy Expert on Instagram. The refs completely lost control of Sunday's Giants versus Eagles game. There were 11 missed calls, and 8 of them went against the Giants. That's not just bad luck. That's game-changing. So that's why when I got on, and shout out to Loogie, but I think Loogie did a Loog Hour, and then he did a video where he was like, it's weak to blame the refs. I'm like, no, it's more nuanced than that. We're not saying that the Giants would have won the game. What we're saying is all of those missed calls swung the game in so many different spots. It's not a real game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not playing a real football game when they blow that many calls. It's like, come on. You got to go down to Philly and beat the refs and the Eagles. It's impossible. So they go on to write, missed fumble, phantom flags, no calls at key moments completely swung the momentum. According to RefGen, which tracks the accuracy of every flag thrown league-wide, the Giants were hit hardest out of any team in any game this season. These 5 against the New York Giants were the most crucial ones of the game. Here's the full breakdown. The no fumble call and the tush push. False start called as a neutral zone infraction with Kayvon, and I forget the left tackle from the Eagles. Darius Slayton, offensive pass interference where you don't call OPI on that in any circumstance, bro. You don't call that. If there's a little bit of hand fighting like that, you cannot, like what Darius Slayton did was not enough to merit. Like if it's a 2-hand push, okay, but like that was ridiculous. I was watching in real time. It makes you sick. Whether you're a Giants fan or Eagles fan, you're a football fan. It's like, what are we watching? This is bogus as hell. Wandale phantom block in the back. Corey Black, the other one. Corey Black defensive pass interference on 3rd and 11 when he was getting mugged. So I don't know. I don't know what goes on down there in Philly. Jeffrey Lurie, those guys, like they're greasing up the refs. It was so lopsided. You can't play the game. And it isn't blaming the officiating or, I hate people that it's such a cop-out to blame the officials. No, it was egregious. It's not blaming the officials. It's calling out they were bad. I think it was Devin McCourty and Chris Sims in Sunday Night Football. They were having a little powwow about like, nah, that was crazy. Like, that was all-time bad. You can't watch if you're a fan watching the game, it makes you want to pull your hair out because you're like, it's unfair. They're not officiating the game right. So, I mean, that sucks for the fans of the Giants that have to watch that game. And, like, you can't say they weren't in the game. They answered that first touchdown. It was 7-7. You can't say they weren't in that game. And then the Eagles fans try to say, oh, well, there was an inverted whistle on the kick with the Eagles. And then there also was the dart, fumble turned into forward pass. They were terrible all game. Those two missed calls were not as big of swings as the other calls were. They just weren't even close. So 888-808-1019 as I comb through some of the other stuff. Shout out to my guy on Instagram, Cheech on Instagram. He tried to call a couple nights ago. He said, for some reason my phone's not working. I'm listening to you on the radio. But during the owners' meetings, Everyone made fun of the Green Bay Packers for wanting to ban the tush push. I guess he's a tush push. I guess he's a Green Bay fan, and going back to the tush push stuff. He said all I heard was, "You don't like it, find a way to stop it. You don't like it, see if you could stop it." All of a sudden now everybody wants to ban the tush push. Green Bay Nation needs an apology from NFL fans. I think they were right. And as we look at this Green Bay Packers team as one of the favorites to come out of the NFC, they wanted it gone because they're like, yo, we're going to be ready to compete. The Packers have been to the playoffs the last couple years. They're probably going to end up dancing with the Eagles at some point. Maybe it's this year. And the tush push is still there. They were right. And a lot of people looked at it as soft. Oh, yeah, you can't stop it. They're the champs. But nah, you can't officiate it. You can't officiate it, so it's got to stop. I saw Sal put out a tweet with Giannis and his travel. He took the 5 steps. And he said similar to the tush push. And I replied, and that tweet did some numbers, and I replied to it. I said, it is similar to the tush push as far as the officials not knowing how to officiate it. I've been saying this for years about Giannis, bro. Big Giannis hater. Probably bigger Giannis hater than Ohtani hater. I hate his game. I hope he doesn't come to New York. I hope he doesn't come to the Knicks. I think he's goofy as hell. He was mouthing, "This is my city. I'm not leaving you." Stay there. That one janky chip you got because KD's foot was on the line and you didn't let Kyrie come down and he ends up spraining his ankle and Harden had the hamstring. Like that year, the Brooklyn Nets were supposed to win the chip. But the NBA found a way to manufacture that one for Giannis so that they could say, see, Giannis stayed loyal to the Bucks and won. You don't got to leave to build a super team. Yeah, they just built the super team around him. But anyway, I digress. The tush push and Giannis traveling and Giannis taking forever to shoot free throws, it is like the officials have a front row seat and they watch like they're in their living rooms. They just let the tush push happen and assume it's you can't stop it. They're going to get a yard. They're going to get 2 yards. And with Giannis, they just let him do whatever. Like he's going to get to the rack. He's going to get through the lane. He's going to dunk the ball. Like Harden used to call him run and dunk, man. 888-808-1019. It is super frustrating in this era of betting on sports too. Because how can you not think that some of this is fixed? How can you not think like, yo, this is super janky that they let this go on? But yeah, speaking on the Knicks too, it's funny. On the Roommates pod, I don't have the audio clip, but Danny Green was on the Roommates pod. I gotta watch the full thing, but on their Instagram they put out, Danny Green, and shout out to Danny Green. I got to work with Danny Green at Rock Nation. I got to work with his brother a little bit. Like Danny Green was mad cool, down to earth. A guy that's got rings, a guy that's done it in college and the pros. He was talking to Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, and he said, talking about New York and the Knicks, they put so much pressure on y'all every year. Like this is our year on some Dallas Cowboys type. I'm like, nobody wants to be compared to the Dallas Cowboys. They do that with the Yankees. You definitely don't want the Knicks to be compared to the Dallas Cowboys, but that's a much closer comp. If you think about the 25 years, just getting back to the Eastern Conference Finals, the Cowboys in the almost 30 years, getting back to the NFC Championship, and how they do have a strong fan base. And they do have a high evaluation as far as what they're worth. But I think this is really the year that like Knicks fans and other people are like, yo, this is the Knicks year to win it. And they very much still could. And I want to say that too. It's funny because like I'm done. I was just saying to Fleegs, I'm like, you can't even like, if you're a radio host, you can't even as yourself, and I know C-Mac goes through this, and all of us probably go through it. Maybe some of the older guys don't bother. Like I know T doesn't bother. But, like, you can't even be online where, like, you got to be online to promote yourself. And I'm very much someone that is visible on Twitter and Instagram. I'll talk to you. Before I did radio, I did social media. I know the importance of people feeling seen and people feeling like they can connect to someone. And I promise you, I'm a regular dude. I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I got a little bit of motion, but, like, I'm not too big to, like, respond to comments. But you respond to comments, and because I'm from New Jersey and I'm a Nets fan, and you do not see me wearing Nets gear, you do not hear me. I'm not doing a show about Michael Porter Jr. or Cam Thomas tonight. For what? But there are Knicks fans that want to remind me that the Nets are 0-4, now 0-5. I don't care. I know that. You don't think we know that? Every Net fan knows that. So it's not a rebuttal when me as a radio host says a couple things about the Knicks losing 2 games in a row on the road for somebody to respond to me and be like, the Nets suck. I know. The Nets are 0-4. I'm aware. That's not a return serve, though, bro. No one cares about the Brooklyn Nets. Even the fans don't. Like, as I talk about, there's all these content creators for the Giants and the Jets. The Nets have been so bad over the last couple of years, they've evaporated as far as, like, their content creators and podcasts go. I think the Glue guys even closed up shop. Shout out to the Glue guys because they were one of the first, like, Nets podcasts. There's no reason to pod about them anymore. Like, I had one of the most popular Nets podcasts, Talking Nets. There's no reason to do Talking Nets anymore. There's nothing to talk about. As I'm looking at the Glue guys, I'm like, let me see. Yeah, they haven't put out a new video in a year on YouTube. And, like, I converted my Talking Nets YouTube into McPherson brand, Keith McPherson YouTube. Like, the Nets are so bad, they kill business for their own fans and content creators. So we know it is your time, Knicks fans. The Nets had a brief little time from like 2019 to 2022. It is the Knicks' time to win. So when a Net fan or just a radio host that happens to be a Net fan, myself, Evan, Sean Morash, I think that's it here. If we're critical of the Knicks, it isn't always a angle of like we're Net fans talking about it. Like, no, we're talking basketball. We're talking hoops. We're talking about Mike Brown and this new era of the Knicks. There's no return serve to me to tell me that the Nets suck. Trust me, I know. They drafted 5 rookies in the first round. They're not like there's no direction. 5 rookies in the first round, 2 of them play, and like they might as well play all of them. Like this team is so poorly constructed. Michael Porter Jr. is going to get his. Cam Thomas is going to get his. And they're going to lose. And I think my rebuttal to the couple people in the comments that were saying, yo, the Nets are 0-4. There's nothing to talk about with the Nets. I said, yeah, I know, bro. The Nets are expected to win 19 games. The Knicks are expected to win the championship. It's not close who's, the focus of the conversation. It's not close who we should be talking about. Forget about the past. I was always punching up as a Nets fan. I was always trolling as a Nets fan when the Knicks were bad and the Nets had their little bit of success. It didn't last long. And I knew it wasn't going to last long because nothing does with the Nets. But I think as well, when I came into WFAN, I came in as a podcaster. I had no radio experience. I came in doing a successful Nets podcast and a Yankees podcast. So a lot of times my prep and my presentation was set up for what I knew, podcasting. It took a couple years of listening to the radio station, listening to other radio station, listening to other hosts, working on my craft here to put notes together, to put thoughts together, takes together, specifically on New York sports as a whole, and knowing each night who to talk about, what to talk about. I knew to come in tonight and focus on the World Series. I knew to pivot to the Giants. It would be dumb as hell for me to talk about Trey Young not being available, Trey Young going down, and the Brooklyn Nets losing to the Atlanta Hawks in the Barclays Center. There would have been 0 calls if I took that angle. But maybe in the first couple years that I was on the fan, I might have led with the Nets. There would have been more to talk about, though, because you wouldn't be talking about Michael Porter Jr., Nick Claxton. Like you'd be talking about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. But anyway, we got a break. See, I'm running out of time, but I see my calls. We will get to the calls that are there after we take this break and come back. I also will come back talking about Michael Carter being traded from the Jets to the Eagles. That's certainly going to help the Eagles, and I think it's going to help the Eagles more than John Michie III can help the Jets. And that'll be the last thing that I do before I get out of the way. And then Big Mac can start his show and bring it back to the World Series and take you through the overnight. Keith McPherson on the Fan. Call me up if you'd like to join the show. We'll be right back.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I think what's happening in New England is legit. I think now they can win the AFC East.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
Injured? Don't be a whiner. Call me, attorney Mark Miner. I'm Mark Miner, and I have over 30 years of experience handling personal injury cases. If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. You can trust that the personal injury law firm of Zalman, Schnurman, & Miner will treat you with respect and fight for your rights. Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE for a free consultation. Our goal is to transform your pain into payment. If there is no recovery, there is no fee. We handle all type of accident cases and value the opportunity to help you. The sooner you call, the better. If you are injured, call 1-800-LAW-LINE so we can discuss how to transform your pain into payment. Don't be a whiner. Call Zalman, Schnurman, & Miner at 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner, personal injury attorneys.
Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. That's 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Your debit card doesn't have to be boring. With the Cash App card, you can actually customize it to your specific style. On top of that, you're getting discounts on brands you already use and even early access to major concert tickets. Download Cash App today. Use code WFAN10. Send $5 to a friend within 14 days and get $10 back. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App.
Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Direct deposit overdraft coverage and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
This is Alex Shulman.
And this is JJ Hill of Shulman & Hill, New York's premier injury law firm.
We'll always fight for you when you're injured at work.
If you've ever wished you had a lawyer in the family, now you will.
At Shulman & Hill, it's never one and done. Once you're a client, you're always part of our family.
We'll always go the extra mile for you.
New Yorkers in every borough and on every block know us by name. Shulman & Hill.
Get your free consultation at hurtny.com. That's hurtny.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Put WFAN in your contact list. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Okay, let's close this thing out. I got less than 20 minutes with y'all tonight. The last thing that I have to speak on before we get to the calls at 888-808-1019 is the New York Jets making a move. Darren Muji and co. They're off this week, but they went to work. Justin Fields needs weapons. It'd be nice if they could complete a pass. Woody, yeah, okay. Well, the Jets trade Michael Carter, who had kind of fallen off with them. He didn't have many snaps, and I think we kind of knew that this was coming. Michael Carter and a 2027 7th-round pick, so not coming up this year, next year, to the Eagles in exchange for wide receiver John Mechie III and a 2027 6th-round pick. So they swap players and they swap picks in the next draft after this one. And we'll see what happens. Why I said before I think this benefits the Eagles. The Eagles were up from going from like James Bradbury to C.J. Gardner-Johnson to Adoree Jackson to they've had a bunch of random guys in their secondary that are not Quinyon Mitchell, Reed Blankenship, and Cooper DeJean. They needed another actual legit guy, and it sucks because you send Michael Carter over there. That you just saw their performance on offense. Their offense is fine, whether A.J. Brown wants to be a part of it in Philly or not. But you send Michael Carter over there, that helps shore up their defense. Their defense is straight now on every level. Their D-line, obviously, with Jalen Carter. Their linebackers with Dean and Jihad Campbell. And now Michael Carter, Reed Blankenship, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. The Eagles, why can't the Eagles win the division again? Why can't the Eagles make a run through the playoffs again? They could. In the NFC, who do you really look at in the NFC that's going to start? The Lions? The Rams. The Eagles already beat the Rams. 888-808-1019. Now, John Mechie is a guy that I feel like he always ends up in places where there are other stars. He always ends up in places where there's just other players that are better than him. Alabama in college. He ends up at Alabama. They produce a ton of wide receivers. He gets drafted by the Texans, and the Texans have Nico Collins and a bunch of other wide receivers. He goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson. You know what I'm saying? So you come to the Jets. The Jets have Garrett Wilson, and then you're the next best guy. 888-808-1019. Carlos is in Clifton on the Fan. What's up, Lowe's?
Hey, Keith, I had a quick Knicks and Giants point. I'm going to start off with the Giants point. Do you think, knowing Carl Banks has access in that building, being a sort of legend that he is, that he knew that this was calculated what he was doing? Instead of going to that kid and talking in his ear, hey, you need to step it up, you're this, calling him out over the radio on the internet, knowing that now he has to show out because it's not Carl Banks now. Now it's 1 million people watching him. You know what I mean?
I've never met Carl. We have spoken via DM. I have a ton of respect for him. I even kind of stuck my neck out for him back when BT and Sal had him on because he is a legend. He has won. And I have listened to him and Bob Papa's podcast, and I feel like he knows what he's talking about. So he's not a coach. He's not supposed to go up to Dexter Lawrence in the building and say, hey, young man, here's some coaching points. He's got to do his Believe in Giants podcast. And through his film study and through looking at the team and examining why they're losing, why they're giving up, almost 200 rushing yards to Saquon, 100 rushing yards to Tank Bigsby, Dexter Lawrence is a part of that problem. And he called it out. He called a spade. Now, I don't think it's malicious. I don't think it's trolling. I don't think it's in a way to hurt his feelings. I think it's just saying, hey, here is what I discovered. Here is what I see. And maybe a lot of you are not calling this out because Dexter Lawrence is the number 17th ranked player. He's a paid man. He's the captain of the team, and we don't want to say it, but it's week 8 now, going into week 9. It was time that somebody said it loud enough for everybody to hear.
Right. Now on the Knicks. Now, I don't want Giannis. I think he's a liability at the end of the game. I mean, he plays more down low. He doesn't have a mid-range jump shot. He can't shoot threes, foul shots. But the only trade between the Knicks and the Bucks that would work would be sponsored by T-Mobile, and it will be the friends and family trade. You're going to trade Brunson and his dad to Milwaukee for Giannis and his 2 brothers. I'll let you go on that one, G. Bye.
That's not going to happen. I would love to see Thanasis hooping in the Garden. I don't even know the other brother's name. But, like, the Bucks signed his other brother, his younger brother, younger than Thanasis, and they keep Thanasis on to keep him happy. To keep him there. Those are all moves like, yeah, we got you, bro. We'll keep your brothers employed and on the team. We're taking care of them. Even though you've got enough money to take care of everybody, yeah, we'll do you this solid. Sure, they can take up roster spots. Jalen Brunson and Rick Brunson are going nowhere. They're part of this whole change with the Knicks. And honestly, I thought that they were Tom Thibodeau guys. They outlasted him, and they're not going anywhere. The Giannis ship has sailed. Honestly, the Giannis ship sailed when you moved all those picks for former Brooklyn net Mikal Bridges. King George is in the Bronx. King George, you're on the Fan.
Live long and prosper. Your show is great. You are great because I wouldn't call, because I was calling the Fan when it was on Station 66, and the things were called 2020 Sports. And you are a self-made man in the manner of Steve Summers, Joe Beningo, and you do it your way because you scare the others so bad they go and meditate like a Buddhist rather than go against you, because you'll do them like Caesar. Yeah, I mean, like Mark Anthony did Brutus.
Hey.
Yes. Nothing wrong with the way and you are famous, so stop that self-depreciating.
Just a little
humor.
bit. In my hometown, I'm the most famous kid to come out of Middlebrook Apartments.
No, you're well known, because I wouldn't be calling you, because I haven't called a Fan in a while. Then people like you and the 2 Macs, you and the other Mac, caught my interest, so I started calling the Fan again.
Yeah, the Fan's got a good thing going with K-Mac to C-Mac and Overnight. There's a lot of people listening in the city that never sleeps and beyond. What you got for us, King George?
Yeah, what the Giants are not, people expect them to they're not going to make the playoffs. They're building for next year. Correct. That's all it is to it. They expect them to, but it isn't happening.
Yeah, I think that ship sailed after they lost to Denver. If they beat Denver, then we're in a little different spot. Then you lose again to the Eagles. This is not a playoff team. This is a team that, like I said, we're hoping. Polymarket says that they have the favorite to win offensive and defensive rookie of the year. We're hoping those 2 kids stay healthy, and Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart, and that Brian Dable can win 4 or 5 games here down the stretch to quiet the noise around him losing his job, because they're not firing him anyway. It's a developmental year.
Yeah, that's all it is. But people, they were waiting for the play. You and I both knew the playoffs wasn't going to happen.
No.
It's like my dad. Then I'll let you go. And don't forget, I'm waiting for you and Zoo to get back.
I ran into Zoo yesterday. Zoo says he's down. We got to set a time and date, and it's got to be during the day.
Yeah, I'm not a cold weather man, so sooner than later.
You live in the Bronx. You are a cold weather man.
Yeah, no, not by choice, by birth.
We're all cold weather people living in New York. It's cold now. It is what it is. I got the Scully on. Like summer can't last forever.
Yeah, okay. But my dad taught me about women. There was a girl when I was younger. There was a girl I liked that didn't like me. Said, "Hey, boy, that was the days when your parents weren't your buddies. You say, boy, if a woman don't want to spend your money, be glad, because she could have played you for a sucker.
Thanks for the call, King George. King George is classic. Great. I'm down for the Cats delicatessen. Myself, King George, and Big Zoo. Maybe we get an AI cartoon of us, going to do that. That was funny. Yeah. If a woman don't want to spend your money, she could. Yeah, I don't know. I never had any money to spend. Now I just give all my money to my wife. We got a kid. You got it. Whatever he needs. But coming up, I wasn't spending any money on chicks. It's broke five broke. We ain't got it. And most of the chicks that I rendezvous with knew that. That wasn't what they were coming to me for. I'm not tricking. I'm not the one to take you out, get your nails done, take you to dinner, take you to movies and all that. Maybe a couple times after we rendezvoused a couple times if you're picking up what I'm putting down. But you're not my girl. We're not doing all that. We on a late night. Those were the days. Those were the days. As we were talking about Sydney Sweeney last night, I got a couple texts. I guess my Sydney Sweeney take on Twitter, which really was born off of not her talking on BT and Sal's show. I didn't hear the interview. If she was in studio, I would have watched on YouTube. But it really came off of Sydney Sweeney popping up on the World Series as I'm in here about to watch the World Series. I'm like, why is she bringing us into the World Series? What the hell does she know about the Dodgers and the Blue Jays? Like, whatever. And that's when I was like, yo, she's like a 7.5, like an 8. But nah. Another credible source in New York sports and radio sent me a text. And I went and hit Twitter and I looked and I said, oh, well, damn. New Sydney Sweeney scene just dropped at Keith_McPherson 2 hours ago. I put it out there. I said, okay, I get it now. 7.5 just hit a 10. If you haven't seen, and I'm sure they'll be talking about it on the Fan this morning, if you have not seen Sydney Sweeney at the Variety Power of Women red carpet and the dress that she's wearing, I get it. I'm with y'all now. Understood. Understood. I never bagged a Sydney Sweeney, and I'm not saying that I could. I mean, I did have some I won't go too deep into detail. Like, I'm not saying I could bag Sydney Sweeney. I'm just saying when I was seeing her and people were hyping her up, I was thinking, like, is she better than like Megan Fox? No. Is she better than like when some of these other chicks like J-Lo was the it girl, or I don't see her like that. I see what y'all I see it. I see it now. She did it tonight. She showed up to that green carpet at the Variety show with them things thangin'. Yep, that's viral. That is viral. That is out there. Let me see right now. It's got 334,000 views in 2 hours. By the time people wake up in the morning, it'll have a milli. Jake is in the Bronx on the Fan. Go for it, Jake. We're supposed to be talking about the Jets.
The girls scream like I'm Keith.
Hey, they used to. And then I settled down. I knew the world was a lot safer. The world is a much safer place without me on these streets.
Yo, give me a rap.
Give me a rap. I don't know. I don't have a rap, man. I don't even have any takes left, bro. What do you want me to rap about? The Jets?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know about those PS licenses. Woody Johnson says this is what the prices is. I'm raising them, and you raising kids. The Jets, they hating them. That's a freestyle. That's 2 bars right there. 4 bars.
That's not bad.
It counts as something, man. I'm running out of, at this time of the night, I'm running out of energy. I got to hit the sleep. If they're watching on the YouTube, they saw me already pop the melatonin magnesium.
What do you think? Do you think the Jets are going to trade Breece Hall, and what do you think he's worth?
I saw Breece Hall put that gif out today, and I thought a Breece Hall trade was coming. I don't think they're going to trade Breece Hall because they do plan on winning some games, and I think that they want to pay him. I think that Aaron Glenn thinks highly of him. I think that his last showing raised his value where you could trade him, but I think he's too important to the locker room and the fabric of this team. And if they do want to win any other games, they need Breece Hall. Braylon Allen is hurt. If he was healthy, maybe they would actually be able to consider it. The other day, I was like, yeah, they got Isaiah Davis. They could do whatever. But if you trade Breece Hall, Justin Fields really doesn't have any help. So, no, I don't think they're going to move Breece Hall unless they get an offer they cannot refuse.
What can you get for him, though?
What can you get for him? I would want like a second or third round pick for Breece Hall, honestly. After what we saw him do in the last game, like if you're giving him to the Chargers or the Chiefs or I forget another contender that was in the mix where it's like you put Breece Hall on one of these teams, like he could be you could be a Jet fan watching Breece Hall do his thing in the playoffs this year. That would hurt. You would need a good return for that. I think he's staying. Yeah. Thanks for the call, Jake. I think he's staying. And I think when we saw that GIF that he tweeted out, that's just Breece being active on Twitter. But a lot of people were like, oh, is a trade coming with him next? Or did he get an extension? Not for nothing, Breece Hall was in the same draft class as we were talking about offensive and defensive rookie of the year. He was a steal in that draft. And the Jets paid Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson, just got their first win without him. Who was instrumental in that win, Breece Hall. They might pay the boy. And if he wants to be there, and Breece's like personality, he doesn't rock the boat too much. He doesn't really say anything too crazy. But yeah, that GIF he put out has got 4.2 million. That had a lot of speculation. That had a lot of people thinking, oh, is he next? No, I think he's staying. The Jets aren't in a position to give away an offensive threat like that, especially after Breece came to them and was like, hey, I need the ball 2025. Like, we don't have Garrett Wilson in this game. Cincinnati's run defense sucks. Their defense in general sucks. I'm going to need the ball 20-25 times. Yes, sir, Dean Cain, sir. You ask, you shall receive. You know, he had a couple touchdowns. He threw a touchdown. It's like, I don't know if they're just going to give him away. Michael Carter is different, though. Michael Carter is a corner, a slot corner. They had the bodies to replace him. Like, he had fell out of favor anyway. And to be able to swap him and get a receiver that, like, by the end of this year, not the end of this year, by the end of November is probably going to be in the line. Not even. They have a bye week this week. Get John Mitchie should be here today. They're down in Philly. He should have, as soon as that trade was done, hey, yo, car service for you. Remember Woody Johnson was trying to get Hassan Reddick from Philadelphia up to Florham Parks, and we'll send a car service with the escort? Yeah, John Mitchie. He should already be at Florham Park. They should already be looking at apartments for him up here. And get him up to speed ASAP. Right? Because you want Garrett Wilson to come back and Justin Fields to have Garrett Wilson and John Mitchie on the other side. And then maybe you can beat the Cleveland Browns? I don't know. Bye week, perfect time for him to come up and, get a hold of the offense, grasp some things. I don't know what he knows or doesn't know, but he's a wide receiver, bro. He's just got to know a couple concepts and what routes to run and the verbiage of how they call the plays. Anyway, that's all I've got, man. Yeah, they're putting out all these Sydney Sweeney. Now that I clicked on Varieties, they are pushing the Sydney Sweeney content. Some things are thinging. All right, I'm going to get out of the way. C-Max coming up next. Good night.
Sports Radio 101.9 FM. WFAN New York.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
It's a good thing to go into a bye week with a win because you actually now feel like the other 7 losses don't matter. Well, I mean, they obviously do, but you feel like, hey, man, we're good.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off and to wear a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Kick off the new season in a Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Looking for an SUV with extra space and style? You'll find an impressive lineup of GLC, GLE, and GLS models in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Or take advantage of their exclusive loaner-to-owner program. Buy or lease a 2025 X-Loaner and enjoy the experience of a like-new Mercedes-Benz. Don't wait. Upgrade your drive this fall at Mercedes-Benz of Edison, the Tri-State's premier destination for luxury driving.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Imagine a gentleman's club with over 200 gorgeous exotic dancers every week.
Hey, big boy.
From the people who make fantasies come true,